welcome everybody to a new episode of WickWars. I'm your host, Badwick, and tonight I am joined by the other host of the channel, unless you were Sliggens or Flatley, who did not show up tonight. Today, we are joined with Angry Slug. Actually, you don't go by that anymore. You go by, like, Slug Entertains. We got Chemo Star and Lady Nerd Artist on the panel tonight. And for tonight's show, we are going to be talking about Star Wars Grifters, the factions of Star Wars, and probably some Acolyte, because that is trending right now, and we all probably have opinions of it. How are you guys all doing tonight?
I could have stopped mugging, but I'm too old and fat.
What the fuck does that mean? I could have stopped mugging, but I'm too old.
No, I could have stopped a mugging.
Oh, okay. I was like...
What did you think I said?
I had no idea, because we're talking about Star Wars, so I
Remind me not to get mugged in front of you.
Yeah, he stole a tip jar. That's a douchebag thing. That happened, yeah.
God.
I'm just picturing
like,
the scene
that
from
was
Spider-Man
the
2,
thing.
where he's...
Slug was
He's
sitting
like,
in a cafeteria having his, whatever cafeteria food, and a scary
I was
black
just
man came
vibing.
and stole the tip jar and almost hit Slug's dog, and in Slug's reaction, he panicked and said, "Oh!"
That is bullshit.
And then made a tweet saying, "I'm gonna dox this man. Anyone with his information, this man deserves to be doxxed." I don't disagree with you. I think, like, one, stealing a chip jar from any fucking business is fucking lame as fuck, and you should
Yeah.
be caught. Two, you almost stepped on your dog, and I'm very strongly against animal cruelty. So, while he was committing a crime, so.
What do you mean?
Hey.
You abused Victor.
It's not a commentary thing, Slug. No one watches.
He
this
probably
commentary.
liked it. Don't lie, Slug.
I'm not even doing a commentary thing. I'm doing a kink shaming thing.
Oh my gosh. All right, Slug.
Slug, is that your king?
No.
Slug, you seem very passionate about talking about Star Wars Grifters. And
I
this was your topic that you picked specifically.
Yes, I
I
know.
wanna
The
get into this.
fucking
So let's hear
So
about it, 'cause I
it's
have
all
feelings
the
on
same
something.
fucking complaints. It's always the same fucking losers that don't understand. It's a fucking show for children. And children now are into the whole, like, progressive shit.
Well, like George Lucas, like when he made Star Wars, was like, this is a children's show. Well, not a show, but like it's a movie for kids.
Yeah, it's
That-
all
that-
for
that
kids.
was,
It's
like, a
not
real
meant
thing.
for...
He's like, I think
Yeah,
he
for
said-
12-year-olds.
Yeah, like that's a quote he said.
Like, it's not meant to be like this deep, mature thing. It's supposed to be, space wizard with light sword.
Yeah. Like,
Wow.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoy when Star Wars plots get a little deeper, and when you can think about some of the philosophies between it, the moralities of like some of the characters. But at the end of the day, it is a kids program, and some of these people, because I actually am not a fan of those individuals. Like some of the ones we brought up earlier, like Star Wars Theory, Geeks and Gamers, Star Wars Girl. What was the other one you said?
The quartering,
The Quartering,
Grums.
Grums.
Theory used to be chill.
Well,
Like,
what's the
all
other one?
these
Yellow
people used to
Flash.
be normal. Used to be. Then they're like, yes, I will make all of my money by crying about the fact that they made a character gay. Oh my god. We're in a space fucking fantasy world. Oh my god, how dare they be trans? As if that wouldn't make sense.
The
And,
thing
like,
is, I can't even, like, name many gay characters in Star Wars. They don't do it much, but people act like it's, like, this thing that's, like, constant.
so okay, there are a lot in like the novels. It's something that when Disney took over, there were a lot more like openly gay characters in the novels. But I'm trying to think of one like right off the bat.
I want Mace.
Like,
I
there's-
want Mace Windu. Mace Windu.
Mace Windu.
No, like I get what you see is I get what you
Miss
mean.
how it
though,
died.
Emo. Like you have to like. I'm sure I could pick some out if I had a few minutes to think about it. But you are right. It's not like you think. About
Yeah, it's not
Star Wars,
super
and there's, like,
significant.
fucking gay people everywhere. There really isn't. I mean, you can count the black characters on fucking one hand. Like, with that
And
stuff.
they made the black characters like OP as fuck. They made Lando Calrissian canonically fuck the Millennium Falcon.
What?
You are not.
I thought it was the droid.
Unfortunately, well, the droid becomes the hyperdrive of the Millennium Falcon. That's the whole thing. LP from the Han Solo movie.
I just thought that was funny. I don't really see why people would be like mad about that. Like,
So there was. So actually, I really like the Han Solo movie. It's a hot take in the Star Wars community. I really
Yeah, it's not
enjoyed
bad.
it. I can admit the movie is janky, and the pacing at times isn't the best. But that's because they had 3 different directors for one fucking movie. But overall, I enjoyed the characters of the Han Solo movie. I like the droid and Lando thing. Didn't seem weird to me because Lando as a character is pretty fucking. You know what I mean? That guy sticks it wherever the fuck he wants.
yeah,
to
he's
stick
sort of
it.
like Kirk in that way.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like
He's a
fucks-
very
he fucks
cocky
robots,
person.
He fucks aliens, and I think canon wise, he is like, he's not bi, but he's more like
He's pansexual.
Yeah, I think he's technically pan, canonically, and it kind of makes sense for his character. I don't see it as like a fault to his character, other than like you said, he's kind of like the Kirk of the Star Wars universe. But
He just
people were
knows
really
what he
mad
wants.
about LP. That was like an actual like drama thing when they had that droid, and it's like droid rights and all this because it was compared to kind of like the SJW like fucking movement where they're like, oh, of course they have like this droid activist that's like against droid combat and against organics and very like strong independent woman sort of like mentality, and it was voiced by like a female actor. And all this, people are pissed about that. They're like, "That's woke. That's woke. That's woke." I'm like,
It felt like more of like a parody of that kind of thing too. That's how I interpreted it.
honestly, like the thing about Star Wars, it's like it's a fucking galaxy. It's a universe. Like if everything's a carbon
Like it
copy of
makes
something,
sense.
It's just something.
Like it makes sense though. It makes sense that someone would be pansexual. Someone would fuck a robot.
Like
Yeah.
like people do it nowadays.
Yeah, like
yeah.
have you seen OnlyFans women? I edit for them.
Isn't there a dude that like fucked his car too?
Yeah, that's like a real thing.
Oh
but, like,
yeah.
people get so angry about the littlest things, and I think rather one of my big griefs with like the grifters of the Star Wars community is that they always go after the actors. They always like shit talk. the
That's
actors.
another thing.
When,
They
like,
don't
Also not a
shit
new
talk
thing.
the fucking. They don't shit talk
Yeah.
the producers, the directors, or anything.
well, they
'cause
do
they're
as
like,
well.
No, it's
They-
oh,
always
if
the
we-
actors, the people
Kathleen.
who
yeah,
get
they
told.
drag them through the mud, Slug. They hate everything about them.
Well, yeah, they don't like the fucking series. They just hate the series and like the views they get. They're incompetent fucking morons that can't do anything right.
So that argument
Why
is
do you-
what the grifters use as their basis, though, towards like the directors and producers.
Yeah, like
Like, they
the
use it
fucking
against each other.
grifter. Here's the thing: the grifters are just like, I'm an outsider. This should appeal to me. I'm like, people who actually read a lot of the lore would also know that Palpatine tried multiple times to birth something through the Force, and Starkiller originally was kind of a clone that was birthed with
You're
Force
getting-
abilities,
you're getting
something
lost
that
in the legend soup though with the Starkiller stuff.
let me have my good thing, okay?
Hey,
I
know
had to
the
be
lore.
reminded that Star Wars girl did pornography.
Yeah, that's like
What?
why she has her like fucking following is because like she posts like fucking like she posts the Princess Leia thing, and then she's like she's not an ugly girl by any
Jesus.
means, you know what I mean? So that's like her.
Not
gimmick. Actually, I think she's pregnant.
How is she pregnant?
I thought she was or some shit. I could be wrong, but
Wait, why am I confused on how pregnancy works?
but like
You watch too much Acolyte.
well, like, the problem with the Star
Oh
Wars
my goodness.
characters is that they
Good
cling to
show.
legends like materials, and like there's no hope for anything that came out of Disney afterwards, which was ironic because they all loved Rogue One, and Rogue One was good. It was a good movie.
It's
It
a
had good
Disney
action.
property,
It
though.
was a Disney property. and same with the Clone Wars, the final season of the Clone Wars, which they all say the last good thing Disney made was the Clone Wars. But that final season of the Clone Wars that everyone loves, the Siege of Mandalore, was all done by Disney. And I find it kind of ironic with that. But then everything else other than Rogue One and the Clone Wars is trash in their opinion. And I disagree. I do. Because there's a lot of Legends material that was fucking garbage as well.
Oh, yeah.
And they never want to bring it up. They never... There's a novel where Luke Skywalker turns into a werewolf.
What?
I'm yes.
He's a furry!
Also, they get mad about Palpatine coming back in canon, which I am also not a fan of, but it does happen in Legends too.
It does.
It happens so many times in Legends. It's like a fucking meme.
What's it called? He creates a clone of himself. His clones deteriorate in Legends. Luke Skywalker turns the dark side. Oh, what's the name of the fucking series?
There's also the Luke clone, Luke.
Yes,
Luke
with a
Luke.
2 U's. Yeah. Oh God, it's gonna.
So wait, could you say that it's Luke Skywalker? Luke.
Kimo, I'm glad you knew that series though, because it's really bad. The cover of the book has Luke with this black fucking cape that's like the cape's inverted, so he has this fucking collar. It's goofy. It was a good series, but it's fucking goofy. A lot of the Legends stories, they were good stories, but arguably, I'm gonna say with the exception of Thrawn and the Yuuzhan Vong, a lot of the random one-off stories were just goofy.
Yeah, no shit. It's it's a children's show.
Well, I'm talking about novels. Majority of Legends that people cling onto, Slug, are the novels, the comics, and the video games. Because Starkiller is a huge Legends thing. People that love the Legends continuity love Starkiller. They really do. But also, in a matter of speaking, Starkiller, if you have him in the lore of it, kind of convolutes a lot of stuff, in my opinion. I like Starkiller. I like the Force Unleashed games. But for having someone that is strong enough to beat Vader and Palpatine, and realistically a chunk of the Empire, and pull down a Star Destroyer, really takes away.
It just ruins the whole
Yeah, I love this character, but it is fucking dumb.
He's fucking Goku.
Then he can just beat Vader
Star
and Palpatine back to back.
What do you mean Goku? What do you mean Goku? He's Superman of Star Wars.
That's true. Because even in Force Unleashed 2, he doesn't die. He just walks off and with the rebellion, and you're just kind of so why did the rebellion have such a hard time?
Yeah, I also have the take of Force Unleashed 2's story is not great. It was very rushed. It's a fun game.
That training droid was hot though.
Proxy? Yeah.
Proxy's busted and shit, dude. He is broken.
I like the Darth Maul thing in the first game. I remember playing that as a kid, and then he's like, I got one training module I haven't used against you yet. And it's what is that? Because I thought he was going to turn into Obi-Wan. Nah, he pulled out Darth Maul. I was like, holy fuck.
I like Star Wars for what it is. It is a funny fucking space fantasy thing. It's not something that is supposed to change the political landscape or anything like that. And it's more of a reflection of it's a reflection of current day, the people making it.
That's fair.
Why do you think back in the 70s and such, and correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't it uncommon for black characters to be on movies and such?
Yes, it was.
And now it's
Lando.
Lando was a big thing when his character was on Star Wars. Billy D. Williams, that was a huge Hollywood thing when he got in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People are acting as if Star Wars has never been a progressive thing or a liberal thing. It's you forget the controversy of just having a black man play a character in a movie.
Well, it was also Leia too. People were haven't heard.
George is notoriously super left-winged. He based Palpatine off of Richard Nixon.
Yeah, Yeah, the Empire.
Yeah.
And, the original Star Wars, like the Empire, was a mix of like the
Or the Nazis.
Nazis and
Yeah.
Vietnam War. George Lucas was very inspired
Yeah.
by the Vietnam War because he was around. You know what I mean? Like he grew up during it. So a lot of like, what was it? It was like the symbolism of the Empire was like came from the Nazis, but then it was like,
Yeah, they actually hired someone to make
uniforms.
a font. No, their font actually. The Star Wars font is meant to be something that reminds someone of a fascist origin.
What?
It's something that has an authoritarian origin. You can look this up. This is unironically a fact.
Oh God, what's the name? I forgot the name of their fucking words. It's Arabish. I forget.
Arabish.
Arabish. That's it. Yeah, I like that. There's a whole alphabet in it too. But yeah, and like he did go with like movie tropes when he did pick it. Like if you notice, everyone in the Empire is British. It's because everyone in like Hollywood
British
time
films.
that was a villain was British. So like that's what I mean. Like the Empire isn't actually like inspired by one thing specifically. It's inspired by like a fair amount of things. It's like
I think it would be fair to just say it would be inspired by a ideology, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's a dictatorship. It was an evil dictatorship.
Fascist
Like,
dictatorship.
This is the problem with Star Wars is that
If
like,
it
what
works.
we're doing right now, how we're trying to like break it down and find out the symbology of it and all that, is what I don't like. As much as I love to do, I love to break Star Wars down. It's not what Star Wars was created for, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Going
it's
back to
literally a
it was
kid's
made for
movie.
kids to watch a movie and have fun with a movie and buy fucking toys. Like that was actually what it was made for. But it's
That's the whole problem, though, when people get it wrong, when they're just like saying, oh no, this was never woke. Are you fucking kidding me? It's the wokest fucking series out there.
Star Wars has always been pretty woke. I will say that. If you look into it, what I think is that everyone enjoys Star Wars for various different reasons. Everyone has their ideas of what Star Wars should be.
We all know
don't
the
think-
quartering loves Star Wars for that young Leia in a bikini.
That's
Because
true.
it's the closest thing he will get to pussy nowadays.
But
Of age pussy, I mean.
Star Wars theory is the worst one. I'm gonna say I think like Star Wars theory is the worst one with the Grifton.
Doesn't he do like fan fictions and
he
shit?
does, like, fan fictions, and he had that whole drama with Lucas, or what was it, Lucasfilm? No.
Yeah.
He had a whole drama because they basically copy claimed something that he made that was a fan fiction. Or something like that. This was
He did the
years
fan
ago.
film, and there was a falling out there.
Yeah, and like when he makes those videos of him crying, where he's like, "This is ruined, this is ruined." I'm like,
Oh
just
God.
go watch it then, man. Like the problem with a lot of these grifters is that this is what their channels are based on, and it's easier to.
They
hate
have no
something than to-
personality.
Right, it's easier to hate something than to like find positives about it. Because like, if you want to segue into the Acolyte, I think the Acolyte was horribly written. I do find, and like this is kind of like a theory I was working on over the last few days. I do think a lot of the Star Wars material that came after Rise of Skywalker needs to incorporate things that make Rise of Skywalker make sense. Because that trilogy, and I can watch the sequel trilogy and enjoy it. Do I think it's by far anything that is like top tier Star Wars? Not at all. I think it is lower tier Star Wars for writing and lore. But because it's the Disney trilogy, Disney's obviously going to publicize it. They're going to promote it. They gave Rey 3 more fucking movies. So they need to try to make the sequel stuff make sense. So
Are those still happening, or
Daisy Ridley just came out like a week or two ago about it. Yeah.
It's straight up called episode 10 now. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was on a different Star Wars podcast where I was like shooting out my theories of what I think is going to happen and everything in the future. I beat fucking Screen Rant with my theory, by the way. I think those guys stole my fucking theory.
Okay,
fucking did.
I hate Screen Rant. This is me talking as like someone who's actually educated in journalism. I hate how they do their shit. They turn an entire fucking piece of fan art into an article. The fuck is wrong with you?
They're just trying to make a quick buck. Like,
What's the
they're just soulless.
screen? So yeah, actually, you know what, Kimo, you said the best way. I think they're very soulless. Like Screen Rant.
It's another Watch Mojo.
Yeah, and then there's the guy who because we're talking about the grifters against Star Wars, and then there's those ones that will die hard defend it, like Slug, of course, he will die hard defend Disney. But you have like people like
Look, man.
Star Wars Explains and oh fuck, what's his name? Screen Crush, where like no matter what Disney puts out.
What about New Rock Stars?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with New Rock Stars actually.
They do a lot of the like trailer and breakdowns of stuff. They've been doing a lot of Marvel stuff.
Oh, okay. I know Star Wars Explains and like covers everything from like comics, novels, all media. But he had a meltdown the other day about like kind of Star Wars grifters. These guys only see negatives and these guys blah, 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 blah. And like because he's had beef with like people in the Star Wars community. But like,
wow, the Star Wars community having beef? I'm surprised.
I actually love the Star Wars community drama. I fucking love it. Because then you have people like Eckhart's Ladder who kind of like sit in the middle where they don't really like possibly everything, but they can acknowledge good things about it. I knew Eckhart's Ladder back when he was like a fucking 2K channel because he used to do Star Wars Versus series where he's like, who would win in a fight? Darth Maul or Quinn Syndrome.
I think Princess Leia will win.
But
I don't know. This whole Star Wars community is just fucked nowadays.
They're very divided, actually, and there's definitely like cliques because like basically we named all the grifters, other than like some people like It's a Gundam and shit like that. I like It's a Gundam. It's kind of like an eye roll every time.
It's all the
Star Wars video.
Here's the thing, it's all the people that make videos complaining about like Star Wars and shit.
But they all keep
they keep watching, they keep fucking making videos saying, "Oh, this is so bad." Then why do you still watch it? Oh, I like Star Wars.
Star Wars.
I just want to point out though, same shit, different day. I mean, like nowadays it's the sequels. Before it was the prequels.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be something.
I love the prequels. I've never hated them.
Yeah, it's why I don't think
I love my
like,
space bears.
we
I love
should,
my
like-
space bears.
we shouldn't like shit on people for like liking the sequels. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of them, but you know there are
Right?
people,
That's my opinion.
most in younger generations, that enjoy that stuff. And you know, I was part of the group that got shit on for liking the prequels. So
Yeah,
it's like
same. I thought the
it's
prequels were
toxic.
Cool. I thought the fucking clones and the droids were fucking great. Jar Jar Binks, I thought he was funny because I was that age.
You know,
where I
yeah.
thought he was funny.
Jar Jar. Yeah, people forget this is a kids show, a kids series. It's
That's
not
why-
meant.
That's why George made.
Yeah, Jar Jar accomplishes exactly what he needs to.
He's just
You know?
goofy.
Yeah.
He's not
a
like
kid's
episode
character.
one, he was
Misa loves big titty anime women.
Yeah, that was my favorite scene with them.
Yeah,
Yeah, episode one.
and when he saw like Padme, he went like, "Oh, Wooga, Annie,
No,
look,
No, that was
she
me.
got it."
Um,
I hope Badwick falls just for the thumbnail. I will
Oh, yeah,
remake a
that's all
whole
because of you.
fucking thumbnail if you fall.
but yeah, I don't know. I don't really hate it anymore. I'm like critical of stuff. Like the Acolyte is by far not one of my favorite series, but I
Why?
find it really funny because it's not my favorite Star Wars.
But why?
Slug, because it's not like I can pick.
But why?
I can pick and choose what.
Acolyte blood sports.
But what I found funny about the Acolyte is that the recent episode that came out I thought was really good. But then normally
Oh, that
all
fight
those,
scene.
right?
Yeah, the fight was
I
pretty
thought
cool.
the episode was really good. I didn't really have any complaints about it. I generally enjoyed it. But then all the channels that normally defend the Acolyte for some reason, like Star Wars Explains and Screen Crush or whatever their name is, were like, this was the worst episode of the Acolyte. This was our least I'm like, what fucking world are we living in, man? I'm like, I don't know.
Bro, I hate. This is what I mean. Like, I'll call them all grifters because that's what they're fucking
Yeah.
doing. They're grifting shit.
By the way,
'Cause they're-
that dude is the apprentice. He is not the master.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Looks like
'Cause-
Filthy Frank.
Yeah, he does.
Here's
look
the
like
biggest-
Filthy Frank.
Dude, what if they got like Joji to outright play a Star Wars character?
Joji's
That would
too-
be so
Too
fucking
busy
crazy.
making K-pop videos.
He's making more money than any of us combined, though.
Because he fucking changed his career path. He was smart. He took his fucking rise in fame and actually applied it to something way more than YouTube. But yeah, I don't know. The Acolyte, like, I'm just not a fan of the style of the show. I think the characters are a little weak.
Wow, homophobe.
I
No,
mean,
it has nothing
No,
to do
I'm in
with
agreement with
homophobe.
Badwick.
A
It's
day-
like I don't
I
A
even
definitely-
day after Pride Month ends and your homophobia shows, Badwick?
okay, listen here, Slug. We all know that you fetishize lesbians. Shut up.
Look, here's the thing. When you have a
Look,
pet
awkward
lesbian...
silence.
Look, when you have a pet lesbian, you need to treat it right. You need to feed it properly, and you need to give it enrichment time. You take it
Okay,
to
so just
like a card shop.
Just because a woman told you she was gay does not mean she's your pet. It means she doesn't want to talk to you.
Shut up.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, I find, like, the Acolyte could have been more, obviously, and it's not what I imagined it would be,
I mean,
but it is what
it was
is.
definitely an interesting premise, especially
The
with
sisters are a
how they
Force
set up the
dyad.
two sisters.
They're a dyad in the Force, and they're gonna make them a dyad in the Force because of the fact that Rey and Kylo were a dyad in the Force, and there's a big fucking plot point because of Palpatine, but they're gonna somehow link this dyad to the Force to fucking Plagueis, which is how Palpatine finds out about the dyad of the Force and how it existed and the powers it can have because the sisters were artificially created by the Force. And it's all gonna link up back to Rise of Skywalker. And this was my original, like, this was the theory I was saying, where I find they're actually writing material to kind of fix what they created in Rise of Skywalker. And I think all their Star Wars works that come in the future are gonna fall to this kind of trap. Maybe not Skeleton Crew. Maybe not Skeleton Crew, because that's supposed to be like the Lost in Space of Star Wars, and it's actually not tying to anything, which I'm actually excited for. It's supposed to be like spooky and scary.
There's been some stuff that's like kind of tried to explain some of that I think is a decent enough job. You know, they're trying their best. Like I think Bad Batch did it pretty
Bad
good.
Batch
I
is
know
really
people
good.
have
I
mixed
love
thoughts on
Bad
that. I like
Batch.
Bad Batch.
Or Bad Badge. Bad Badge.
Oh my god, I wish they had continued.
Brr.
I think it had a good ending, and I think the
And
show really
honestly,
picks up. Oh, sorry.
No, they killed my funny little nerd. They need to
They
die.
killed Tech. That's the saddest Star Wars death.
Yeah,
Tech
no,
was the
that.
saddest
Yeah, they
That
Star
killed
did
my
Wars
hit
death.
hard.
funny nerd. I want him back.
I'm glad they didn't bring him back, to be honest, because it would really remove
Yeah, it would've
how
weakened
I
that
felt
moment.
about Tech dying, because I expected him to
I
come back,
know.
and he just didn't, and then it solidified it when they did like a 10-year fucking like time skip, and he's still dead, and I was like, oh, he died.
He died for real,
He died
Ma.
for real in Star Wars. He dead. Omega joined the fucking rebellion. Oh no.
God, I
What if-
did not watch
What
the
if they were
Bad
one of
Batch
the
at
first
all.
fighters that got shot down?
Sorry, lady. What were you saying?
What's up, lady?
Okay, so
Woman.
you guys remember back when Luke joined the rebellion?
Yeah.
I know it wasn't a man that got shot down. I know it was a man that got shot down first. But what if they were one of the fighters that got shot down during that scene?
Omega, stop it. They're not gonna stop. You know.
Yeah.
Star
Kill
Wars-
off
Star
the
Wars
child.
was notorious
Kill
for
off
it.
the child.
Well, she's a grown woman by that point. But that's like there's
Slug
like, a
likes her
huge
better as a
divide.
child.
There's a huge divide in the Star Wars community when it comes to Rex on Endor. When one of the commandos on Endor, he has a white beard. I forget his name, but
Nick Saint, I think.
yeah, it's Nick something actually. But
Either Nick Saint or Nick Sant. But anyways,
something
go
like
ahead.
that. He was an obscure, like just random character. He had some lore to him. But basically, Dave Filoni is like, yeah, Rex lived till the Battle of Endor, and he fought on the Battle of Endor. So then Disney kind of loosely said it was him, but that also pissed a lot of people off because that character just existed, and they just basically like copy and pasted Rex over this guy that already existed. And Yeah, people were really mad about that.
Well,
You're
here's the thing.
surprised?
Filoni said he sort of did it in a way where it's like he felt like he made it vague enough to where it's up to
Yeah.
interpretation, which I think was a good way to go about it.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Rex got killed off by one of the Ewoks off screen,
No.
and he survived to the
Rex
Battle of
was not
Endor.
like that.
What the fuck are you talking about? The Ewoks are part of the rebellion.
No,
They
I know.
definitely fed them dead stormtroopers at the
Yes,
party
they
later.
did.
Nah, here's
Yes, they
here's
did.
the
That's a
thing.
real thing.
Here's why I'm saying that. Rex just pissed off an Ewok, and the Ewok's like, "Meh."
But he's referenced after it. He's referenced in like, what was it? Some of the not Aftermath, but there's a novel afterwards that reference, or it might be in the Aftermath trilogy, in one of the interlogs. He is referenced after Endor, but then like that's it. You never hear from him again. It's
He
assuming
died
that
from
he
his
died of
Ewok
old age
injuries.
eventually.
I want to know if he like met Luke at any point. That's the thing I've
I
been like
assume he
thinking
would.
about. Like I feel like that'd be an interesting interaction.
After episode 5, episode 5, the end of it, the rebellion was pretty fucking small. It like lost a lot of its like between episode 4, which was arguably the largest the rebellion was, to episode 5, it gradually got very small because they were losing like everything. So I would assume so because he was like a fucking captain in the rebel, or was he promoted to commander in Rebels? I can't remember, but he was higher up. Same thing with like Hera. Hera was a general in the rebellion, so like
Hera made it like out unironically.
Hera made it out. Sabine made it out. Rex made it out. Zeb made it out. Rex.
The furries made it out.
Gregor, we don't really know what happens to sorry, not Gregor. Wolf. We don't really know what happens to Wolf because he survives Rebels, but yeah, we don't know what happens to him. Arguably, Hunter just like fucking retired, and same thing with like Wrecker. And I mean,
Did Hunter raise Omega?
yeah. Well, arguably the whole.
It was
So-
quite literally.
Yeah,
The
the whole
squad
squad did,
raised
but yeah,
it.
Hunter especially definitely was like
So
dad there.
So by that logic, it's like fucking the whole story was made for like all the dads in the community being
it
like,
was a family story.
Yeah, kinda.
It really was. It was
You
about
think
like
about it.
Bad Batch dealt with like PTSD, like belonging, and family. I think because like I don't know.
It's underrated as fuck.
It is very because to be fair, I wasn't a fan of Bad Batch in the Clone Wars when they had their Clone Wars
How
episode.
dare.
I remember Bad Batch back before they were even in the rebooted Disney stuff, when it was like just a side fucking reel where it wasn't even.
Yeah, I didn't really
animated.
appreciate them too much at first. Like
Right?
Wrecker
I
was
thought they were
funny or
goofy.
whatever, but yeah, they were just kind of
I
one
didn't
note.
see it.
Yeah, and then when Disney.
how did you not see it, nerd?
Well, probably because when I watched Clone Wars, I was a kid, so I didn't get to see all the episodes.
Haha, stupid child,
Bad Batch-
stupid
Yeah,
child.
we gotta get you caught up.
Bad Batch when
Shut
it
up,
originally
Slug.
like was drawn up was a side extra reel that was on like a DVD thing. There was the Bad Batch like story reel that they released. There was a story reel regarding Anakin and Obi-Wan where the Separatists were
Utapau.
Yeah, Utapau taking fucking Kyber crystals.
I loved that.
And then they had the
If
campaign.
anyone hasn't seen it, go watch it. It's so good.
It is pretty good. If you don't mind watching story reels, it's pretty good. And then they had the Cad Bane Obi-Wan or Cad Bane Boba Fett thing.
Boba Fett,
Where
yeah.
he gets a hole in the helmet and he technically like
Yes, he's
I'd like to
his
see. They haven't released the full episodes for those. I'd like to
No.
see those because I feel like with him and Book of Boba Fett, like there's so much context we're like missing. I feel like,
Book of Boba Fett is so bad. That was
yeah,
that
it's
is-
not good.
I
like
oh,
the
you know
fact
what?
that he took over.
So-
I don't know. It feels full circle though. It's a full circle thing. The guy took over the bounty hunting thing after his father gets killed by fucking Jedi
Yeah.
on Geonosis. Then he fucking works for Jabba the Hutt. Then later on in life, he takes over from the Hutts. I don't know, man.
Slug.
Full
But
circle.
we don't know how he got his we don't know how he got his hole in his helmet, Slug. We need that detail about his armor, and we need a whole
I
series.
swear to
We will
God.
find it,
Well, no,
Badwick.
my
Don't
issue-
Disney-
Sorry, go ahead, lady.
No, after you. I was just gonna be like, let Disney monetize.
Oh, okay. Well, my issue is like we don't really get to see like the prior relationship to Boba and
Yeah.
Cad Bane outside of a few scenes from that arc, and it's like it's really jarring. They like reference all these things, and a lot of it is stuff we haven't seen yet.
Because even in the Clone Wars, Cad Bane references Django. And
He does.
It's just like, so the thing I really liked about the Clone Wars, and I actually really like Jango Fett as a character,
I love Django.
because Jango Fett is like just, people forget about him all the time. I don't know why.
I like him better than Boba. I said
I
it.
do too, because he has way more story, and I would love to see a Jango Fett fucking like something. But it's like you had Hondo Ohnaka who knew Jango Fett, you had Aura Singh who knew Jango Fett, and you had Cad Bane who knew Jango Fett. And Jango Fett was selected because he was the best in the galaxy at that time. And depending on like, if you go into the Legends material, he fought against like fucking Jedi in the Mandalorian Civil War. That's how Dooku knew of Jango Fett. In the Mandalorian Civil War, Jango Fett was fighting against fucking Death Watch and Jedi. And that's how he got known. That's a really good story, by the way. It's a comic by Dark Horse, the Jedi, or Mandalorian Civil War.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like, and this is kind of me being a bit of a dick, but I think everyone who's recently trying to get in on being like, I'm a cultured Star Wars fan.
There's no such
I
thing.
read
You're
all
Star
the
Wars.
comics.
You can't be cultured. It's Star Wars. You're a fucking
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I still browse TikTok because I get my memes every now and then, and I get to learn a new slur. It's a lot of fun. But every now and then I see like the same fucking archetype of creature crying about like the wokeness, or at least the fucking writing that's being done in Legends continuity.
Right in Legends stuff.
And
Legends, that's my beef about Legends, and that's not, like, I really liked Legends, but like the continuity is fucking convoluted, like entirely.
Oh, yeah.
Legends was just like anyone could write a fucking novel.
Yeah,
They didn't give a
George
shit about it.
kind of was just like, I want to see other people's like
Yeah.
takes on this. So you got some good stuff, you got some bad stuff. I sort of feel that way about Disney too. Like both of them are very hit and miss.
Yeah, no, it's very true. Star Wars Resistance, my friends. Go watch that show. You're in for 2 seasons.
Oh God, I
of a
keep forgetting
wild
that show
ride.
exists.
No, 3 seasons, because actually no.
What? It's
Would
2.
we consider Ahsoka the 4th season of Rebels?
No, I don't. I don't.
What do you mean?
I
It
find-
feels like it.
I find
I can
Rebel-
kinda see where Slug's
maybe
coming
this is a
from.
hot take. I find Rebels was mostly Kanan and Ezra's story. I really do.
I don't know. They made Ahsoka into a MILF.
Jesus.
I mean, I'd consider it like kind of like how Rebels is a sequel series to Clone Wars. I would consider Ahsoka a sequel series to Rebels.
Well, it is. Like, without Rebels, Ahsoka wouldn't be a thing. And the character. That's the problem with the Star Wars galaxy, though, is like, everyone loves when characters show up in other things. Everyone loves fan service, but then they all bitch about fan service, and I never understood that. Everyone wants, in the Star Wars community, everyone wants everything to connect together, and they want all these references and Easter eggs. But then at the same
I
time,
think
they
they're
always
wanting
bitch.
the Marvelcation, the Marvel style of like movies.
Nah, Star Wars.
You know what I mean?
Way longer than Marvel, dude. Well, no. Marvel,
People-
Yeah, I know.
Never mind. I take that back. Because Marvel Comics has been around since like the 60s.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. Is they want the Marvel Cinematic Universe style of movies and content.
I do.
They
think
want
the
it all
Mandoverse
to
is-
connect.
I say do it when it makes sense, and if it doesn't make sense, don't do it.
Right.
like-
I do think.
I say do it
The
to
Mandoverse is
spite
handled this
God.
well, I think.
Yeah. The Mandoverse is definitely like Star Wars' MCU, where they're like, we're gonna make 4 shows and they're all combined into a trilogy of movies.
But it's small scale, so I think it's done well.
Yeah, I think they're separating themselves from the final, like the rest of the galaxy. My only thing, my only grievance in all the Mandoverse right now is that Thrawn came back. He's obviously going to be a galactic threat if they're going to put him in 3 fucking movies. Why the fuck did you not hear about him? Like, at all in any of the sequel shit. I'm like, that's a huge part of the fucking, like, galaxy, man.
Yeah, I would agree
what
with
I
that.
mean? I'm like,
Well,
the
how about
whole
this?
threat- Go on.
It is kind of one of those things you gotta suspend disbelief, but yeah, I agree.
Or we're able to kind of view it as, so we all know Adolf Hitler and Joseph Mengele, but there are other like Nazi officials that were just as bad, if not worse than them.
So here's my thing though. Here's my beef with the
I'm
Star Wars
talking about like in universe. I doubt most of the people, even like everyone else, would know about Thrawn.
No, I
You
agree
get
with
what
you.
I'm
I agree
saying?
with you because you can relay this to a lot of the Star Wars universe, with, like regarding the Jedi, Order 66, all this shit. My beef with this specifically is that the New Republic refused to believe Leia about the Empire and a reemergence and all that. So my theory is that when like Thrawn is beat in this series of movies that they are creating, I bet you what they're going to try to write in is that the New Republic announces that they finally beat the Empire. Because if they don't word it that way, like if they don't have like a thing where the New Republic saved and the Empire's finally defeated and they're gone forever, then it doesn't make sense why they gave Leia such a hard time in the sequel trilogy. Because they're like, there's no way anyone could come back. There's no such thing as the First Order. That's as you warmongering. Like, that was a whole plot point. There were like books written about that politically where they're like,
I genuinely feel like Disney, at least when they were producing the movies, they fucked up in a way that it's just like you don't care about it, but
they weren't coordinated.
now they're
They weren't coordinated with the sequel trilogy as their biggest issue.
Yeah, it wasn't planned. That's what I think. And I think they've learned their lesson there because again, the Mandoverse, again, it's not perfect, but it is pretty planned
Jon
out.
Favreau
You know,
had an idea of what he was doing, and he kept it together.
yeah, and I like the main thing.
it's
I've been
the
saying about the
MCU
sequels-
problem. It's the MCU problem.
The MCU had its like it wasn't perfectly planned. Again, it's like the Mandoverse. It wasn't perfectly planned out, but for the most part, it's pretty. I don't know what.
It definitely feels like they're setting themselves up for future projects.
Yeah, they have a general idea. And I've been saying with the sequels, they like because they announced like the sequel trilogy and everyone who was going to be involved, like right as Disney bought Star Wars. I think they should have given themselves more time than that to really plan everything out. Not only the story, but like kind of the world. Because the big criticism is like, oh well, like nothing's really changed much from the original trilogy. So it's like if they gave themselves that time, they could have like developed all these different things.
Hey, Star Wars
and
is
had everything ready to go.
It's poetry.
The original
poetry,
idea
right.
was, dude, the original idea was to have Kylo Ren just get worse.
Yeah, and yeah, they really should have gone through with that. I don't know.
Like that would have been so fucking like if they wanted to play the political thing of like, oh, it's a political commentary. Like, yeah, they could have played it as sometimes people get. Here's the thing: sometimes people get lost in extremism and never come back.
They could have done that with General Hux.
I mean,
they wanted to, but then they made him comedic relief.
Fashion. That speech that he does in that movie, Force Awakens, they actually blocked it out of some countries because of how fucking like extreme.
Germany not being one of them, by the way.
Yeah. But then like in the movie after that, they made him a goof, and I was like, what? Like
You're like, ooh, Flynn time.
I loved General Hux in Force Awakens. I was like, holy shit, I can get down with a bad guy like this. I want bad things.
Yeah, because you agree with him.
No.
My God, Slug.
That's like Phasma. Like, they had no idea what to do with her character.
Yeah, no, Phasma sucked.
But
She
but
looked
if you
cool.
read her
Phasma-
book, fun fact, you know what her armor's made of? Her
It's
armor-
Palpatine's ship, right?
It's the ship from Episode 1, the Royal
Yep.
Star Cruiser. And like
Holy
Phasma
fuck.
was like actually like a space barbarian. She was like from like this radioactive fucking planet that was like
I do need to read that
wasteland.
novel.
It's
I've
a
heard
great
good
novel,
things.
But the whole thing about it is that they showcased her being a brutal survivalist, which like they somewhat show in The Force Awakens on Starkiller Base when she like saves herself, sort of thing. That fits with her character.
Yeah.
But in that novel, she like rips people apart with her bare fucking hands. I was like, where was this?
We all know the fucking weird porn artists would be like, muscle mommy.
Well, the problem is
Well,
with the
that's
movies, they were
Well-
they kind of just were like, oh, you guys liked Boba Fett. This is like our Boba Fett, and it's just like, I don't know.
I don't right. Like that's at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I don't know what they wanted to do with her because of the fact that I'm just like, they introduced a lot of these characters and then they made them gag characters or like nobodies. Like I said, like I really like Kylo Ren. I'm a Kylo Ren stan. I like, even though he is like a rip-off of Jason Solo, I still like Kylo. He had the most fucking depth of any of their characters in the sequel trilogy.
I also appreciate, right? Because any villain they would have made would have just been compared to Darth Vader. They would have been called a Darth Vader knockoff. So they kind of played into that and made him like sort of like this self-aware, like wannabe Vader. And that's one thing I
That was
really like.
Grandpa,
His character.
please love
Yeah.
that
me.
was definitely an
Love me,
interesting
Grandpa.
twist they added.
Yeah.
Well, not twist,
Yeah.
addition to his character.
He he wanted to be Vader, and it was used against him. And then by the end, like by the final movie, he was like, "Fuck this! I ain't Vader." And like I don't think they executed.
Isn't that what
best.
Vader did in
did-
the... Vader did that, though.
Did what?
He did. I really think they should have committed to the whole like, yeah, he's just too far gone, like they were planning. Because the redemption is also just very out of nowhere, like with like just Han showing
Like
up.
that fucking time
kinda
skip,
repeating-
too.
Oh yeah, no, that they fucked up with the whole trilogy with that. Every movie should have had a time skip. It would have removed all the Rey hate of her being a married.
The
Sith.
rate.
It would have, if they were like, there's 2 years between The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. You could have easily explained that. You know,
I remember after
she was good.
Force Awakens came out.
Yeah.
I remember after Force Awakens came out. I actually was initially defending Rey. I'm like, oh, they'll have an explanation for all this, and she'll go through training and all of this. And yeah, like you said, they didn't do that.
They're like, she's as dope as
so-
fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just she's just powerful. They do sort of kind of start to go in an interesting direction in Rise of Skywalker.
'cause
Like
they
she
show
has
her
like sort of
training.
this moment. No, here's the thing. There's this moment, like, you know, the one where she like is trying to save Chewie and then she ends up accidentally shooting out lightning. I'm like, you know, if that was sort of, they did something like this from the beginning of her just having these powers she can't even control and made that a part of her character.
Would've been
Because it's just
great.
kind of shown a
fixed
couple
it.
times and never expanded upon. I'm like, you know, that could have been an interesting like template there.
Yeah, no.
I feel like now it's... Here's the thing. They were trying to appeal to people that get mad if someone's gay in a video game.
What?
That's the big thing.
I don't.
No,
do you
like
mean?
the writers. So, in terms of like the target audience that they really wanted for this, at least in the like meta level type shit, was the fucking grifters that fucking cry saying, "Oh, we want old
What?
Star Wars
I
back."
disagree with
I
that.
know what he's talking about. He means like with Rise of Skywalker, like they did just kind of do a lot of like fan theories, like, oh look, Rey's a Palpatine and like all that. Like I kind of, yeah. Go ahead, Slug.
Like they wanted to have that going, but then they fucked it up so much because then they're like, "Oh, we don't have anything to make our characters unique." You could have had Stormtrooper turned Jedi. You could
Yeah.
have introduced the possibility that you had to fucking do with Sabine and Ahsoka of, oh, anyone can use the Force if they train enough. You could have done that with Finn, and that would have been interesting because that's, at the time, hasn't been really done that much.
Finn wasn't their target though. They want to focus.
I
on
know,
Finn
but they
Rey.
could
Hell,
have.
if you wanted your gay characters, you got Finn and Poe. A lot of people were saying like, oh, they have good
Finn and
chemistry.
Poe
So like,
fanfictions.
look, I know how goofy it sounds, but like, yeah, like you would have had like 2 leads that had
We
like
all
good chemistry with
know.
one
We all
another.
know what your bookmarks have, Chemo. We all know your
I'm gonna be
bookmarks
honest,
now, boy.
Let's go, Chemo. Let's go make some Fortnite fanfiction.
No, I would have
Fuck
been
yeah.
cool
I
if Finn
hate
and
you.
Poe were gay. That wouldn't have bothered
Yeah, no,
me
I
at
wouldn't
all.
mind one bit.
It made sense.
If they made it good though, if they made a good storyline that was like, okay, they're gay.
But it doesn't need to be a storyline. That's the problem.
No,
That's
not.
why people
Fuck.
arguably I think get pissed off is that like I don't know,
Mhm.
have Finn and Poe hug in a scene and that's it. You know what I mean? If I find like people do like get very political with it when like it's specifically
Yeah,
a
no
portion
shit.
of the movie is dedicated to that when like you arguably are there to watch Star Wars.
They could
I was
have.
just saying. In the
They
sense,
could
like,
have ran with that dynamic being like, okay, best way I can describe it is like how most couples will roast each other.
Yeah.
And it's like the one thing that they could have done is like have, and this is something that would have fed right for the fangirls, that would have made them a shit ton of money. Put the quotes on like t-shirts and shit and sell Valentine's Day shit because that's money. It's capitalism. You could have had like Finn and Poe roasting each other and it went too far, but there's like a near death sequence for either one of them and the other one's freaking out.
Slug's like
And then it-
right now.
I fucking want to kill you.
but, like, let's be honest, like,
I'm sorry. I know how to pander.
If they really wanted to do it though, they could have done it in like the way like the Battle of Endor, Han and Leia, and they finally kiss. They could have done it like in that, like, oh, we saved the day, one of you almost died, and then like have them kiss. That would have been huge.
Yeah.
People would have ran like you're doing fan fictions right now. It would have been by the millions if that happened.
Yeah.
By the millions.
I'm doing it in a way that's able to make Disney money. Because they ran with a comedy trope.
Yeah, I actually Poe Dameron is my least favorite character in the sequel trilogy. Poe and
How
Poe and
racist.
Rey, I would say. I actually like Snoke.
Here's what your beef is with Poe.
I don't think they had any idea what they wanted to do with him. They made him
Yeah, they
start off as,
kinda-
this like hot shot wedge character. Then they made him an angsty like rebel against the system and command character.
And then he's just Han Solo after that.
Right? And then in the third movie he was just like, I'm leader, but I don't want to be the leader.
Yeah,
And I
it's
just
another
got-
case where like
He went in like an Uncharted arc, arguably, in the fucking like third movie. So
it's another case where the actor just kind of carries it because like he has good
Yes.
chemistry with the other actors.
Oscar Isaac is a
Um,
great actor.
Yeah, but like the character does kind of go all over the place. There's scenes I like with him, but yeah, there's not much direction there.
So
I think majority of Star Wars nowadays is just scattershot. We're never going to get any like real content that is outside of the Mandalorian.
No, what do you mean with the fucking Acolyte skeleton crew? What are you talking about?
No. I'm talking
I
about
actually really
shit
love
that will
Ahsoka.
You high?
like out that will be on the same level throughout the entire fan base as like the original trilogy.
Well, yeah, because that's the stuff like we grew up with. So obviously
You'll
we're
never-
gonna see
well, like-
that. It's not gonna hit it. We're not gonna see the new shit. It's not gonna hit as hard. So
Original
yeah, sorry. Go
trilogy
ahead.
People, sorry, Chemo. Original trilogy people fucking hate the prequels.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like they fucking
And-
hate the prequels, man. Like
And to
And then
us,
the and then the
just like generational
prequel
hate.
people and then
Exactly.
the prequel people hate what?
the sequels.
The sequels.
And to
Like,
us,
I am
but
the
to
prequel
us-
people. I hate
And what will
sequels.
the sequel
And to
people hate?
us,
Like
the
Acolyte.
prequels though, yeah, to us the prequels are like on par, maybe even better than the original trilogy. So it's like a big part of it is like, oh well, if you grew up with this, like it's really gonna like that's the thing that's gonna resonate with you. Whereas like
How do you feel about Ewoks?
I don't mind them.
Well, Chemo brought up how they ate people in the Aftermath novel. There's like there's a character in it that is like an ex-imperial officer, intelligence officer that joins this like counter-terrorist rebel group, and they're basically like CIA, like the New Republic. But
Yeah.
he goes into like why he hates Ewoks, and he's like, I was on Endor, I was there, and like actually his character's gay. I forget his name, but he is a gay character. But he's like this imperial.
He is a penis toucher.
This imperial male officer. He's described as being like really good at his job, but then he's like, I hate Ewoks, I'll never go to Endor, blah blah blah. And like, and they go into like why, and he's like, because they fucking ate us. They're like eating fucking Imperials and shit like that, and like cooking them. And he's like horribly like hates them, and that's like his beef with the New Republic. He's like, how could they let these creatures eat just other people and be fine with it?
All right,
Yeah,
this guy needs a
it-
show.
It's like a whole like few pages of just like, I hate these fucking things. And like, to be fair, it's
So
like,
it's
the
like
purpose
me
of
and the
those-
French.
Well, like the purpose of those was like arguably point out a hypocrisy against the Empire and like New Republic. That was like arguably why he brought it up in that book. But I thought it was clever, and also goddamn fucking Ewoks ate people.
Yeah, no,
I'm
you were-
surprised you didn't know.
Bro, I love the Ewoks. Those little fuzzy
Those
bastards.
fucking cannibals.
I want to
Yeah,
punch
It's
them.
not cannibalism.
No, I was about to say, to be fair, it's not cannibalism. I would eat a Gungan if I could.
Well, I was gonna
I
bring
would.
up too.
I would eat out Natalie Portman.
I was
Same.
just gonna say,
Um,
it's not even the same species.
But I mean, yeah, going back to my one point about like like just how it's kind of same shit, different day. Like like when Return of the Jedi came out, everyone hated the Ewoks. Now, like nowadays, people who grew up with like that movie and stuff, they don't really mind them, but then they hated the Gungans later. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah.
I loved the prequel stuff, especially the droids.
I like the droids a lot.
Yeah,
Dude,
droids.
the fucking
fun.
the idea of like droid revolutions in Star Wars could be so fucking
It's
cool.
happened. It's happened like a few times.
Yeah, but in those shows, dude. In the
No,
movie.
there was Solo we mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
L3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
L3
I know
Droid
that. I know
Revolution.
that. What I'm talking about is making that a main plot point.
In the Old Republic, there's like a droid revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of them, man.
Yeah.
What's it called?
But
And then,
what
like,
I'm
and-
saying
and
is
then-
make that the focus of a movie. Like explore that. Explore the revolution and all that.
Well, they don't get to like a revolution style of it, but technically, in the original trilogy era of Star Wars, you know how like everyone hates the Jedi because of propaganda. The same thing is actually
Yeah.
done to droids in the original trilogy. You know when the bartender was like, "Oh, we don't serve those kind like the droids."
Yep.
There was like a galactic widespread like fear and like hatred of droids because of the separatist conflict.
Yeah.
George Lucas, funnily enough, recently was like talking about just Star Wars and
Yeah.
stuff in general, and he like brought up how weirdly enough it kind of foreshadows where we're at now in real life with like AI and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll fuck a robot.
Oh my.
I know.
All
my
right, so
original
we already got our
dog-
Lando type right here.
Hell yeah.
Alright,
I will be
Kima,
the
you can be the robot.
I know there's fireworks, but
Emo's too ugly.
No, we got 80-30. He can be the robot.
No,
They're
I
in
have
the
standards.
Yeah,
The guy
80-30
looks
has
like
standards.
he eats glue.
Hey, you
He eats glue.
well,
Yeah, good looking robot.
Pete, you're too big. Bye, Pete.
Pete,
Pete left. There's fire.
Hi,
Pete,
Pete.
Pete.
Yeah, there's fire.
Behind my green screen, white boy is here.
What's it called? So, what are your guys' favorite Star Wars factions?
I like the I like the paladins.
Hey, I'm sorry I'm late, guys. How far into the podcast are we?
Last topic, but it's all
We're at
good.
the faction.
Yeah, we're at the
Yeah.
factions.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Paladin, Slug?
Yeah. The basically the force users that wouldn't use lightsabers because they thought it was bitch made.
You're going like super obscure fucking lore now.
Yeah, that's
Talk about the Paladin Priestess or whatever they're called.
Basically,
Yeah.
The monks of Star Wars, I like to call them.
Well, they're like an offshoot
Yeah.
of the Jedi. They're like part of the Jedi, but they're like, we don't use lightsabers. That's like fucking.
We don't
like,
use the
comic book
Force.
Someone who doesn't ever reference Legends. Slug brought up something that was like obscure from Legends.
Yeah, because I read shit, Badwick.
I'm gonna be fair about this. I love the Separatists and everything about them.
You just want to fuck Asajj Ventress.
You just like them because they have the largest fleet in the Star Wars
They
universe.
did.
Slug,
and
you
they
just
have
want to fuck the
malevolent-
droids.
No. And they
Okay,
also have
one,
Parliament
yes,
system.
two, fuck you.
Sorry if my webcam is shaking because fucking Pete is having a meltdown right now.
Oh, I thought it was
shit.
Let's
you.
be real. Let's be real. The Separatists, they had some fucking swag when it came to their space fleet
They
and
did.
their admiral ships and
Dooku
everything like
had-
that.
Dooku
Some
had drip.
serious shit.
The fault of the Separatists was that they were never meant to win. That was a fucking fucking
Plot armor was
problem
against
of
them,
it.
badly.
Yeah. Because I loved it because
Plot
I was
armor
like,
was against them.
the fucking Clone Wars show even gets into it, where it's like the Separatists didn't even want, like, majority of them didn't even want a fucking war. It was just like fucking Dooku and fucking the Separatist Council that were just like consistent of like the Corporate Alliance, Banking Clan, fucking Techno Union, Trade Federation, and Commerce Guilds. Were like, now
Why are there not enough cyborgs?
By the way,
And ironically,
Want
I've-
more? Slug.
I was about to say, yeah, best glut shitto ever. Wat
Yeah,
Tambor.
Wat
The
Tambor.
Techno Union Army.
Also fucking Grievous. What are you talking about? Grievous is a
Not your
cyborg.
disposal count.
The Techno
I love Wat
Union
Tambor.
will sign your treaty. Fucking-
Yeah, Wat Tambor.
I love the idea of like Flatley's coworkers just hearing us talk about this
oh, I
shit
just
and they're
got
like,
home.
okay, fuck you. You ruined my headcanon.
I was gonna open it up at work, in my office, but I ended up having to actually do work today.
That's it. But yeah, no,
My
there's,
favorite separatist though is the guy with the what the hell is his name? With the tentacle face, the Poggle guy.
Poggle
I love
the
that dude.
Geonosian leader, Poggle the Lesser.
Dude,
He's
I
the one
love
that
him.
goes
He's so ugly looking, but he's like I feel like everybody calls him ugly and stupid. So I'm like, you know what? I like him
It's like a
because he's
dried up
ugly and
scrotum,
stupid.
his fucking face.
You like him because
Dude.
people don't like him.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Well, he's
though,
like a little gnat, bro. He
I
like
thought you
flies
were
around
going-
and shit. He's like annoying, and he can just get one tapped by a lightsaber instantly.
oh man, Star Wars Episode 3, the game, you get to murder all of them as Anakin. Like you go into
Yeah.
a room and like you
Straight up.
I murdered them all.
Well,
The
Poggle dies in a
women
cutscene
children.
there, but you do get
Yeah,
to kill
that's true.
Wat Tambor and yeah.
Yeah, because Poggle, what is it in the game? He
Yeah,
throws
you
the
chuck a door at him.
Yeah,
I
And the
wish
movie
what
just
happened to
gets cut
Poggle
in
would happen to
half.
Jar Jar.
Dark.
Dude, I don't
Okay,
know what it is.
fuck
I
you.
love
You
Jar Jar in
leave
the Lego
that
games.
Fifth Lord
I can't
alone.
stand him in the movies.
Oh, did you guys see the trailer for what is it? There's like a new Lego Star Wars movie, and the whole idea is that like the whole fucking
What?
universe got fucked up. It's like the Millennium Falcon lands on the ground, and then the Sith Lord comes out. It's like Darth
I'm
Jar
looking
Jar
this
is
up.
like, Misa gonna hurt you really, really.
Oh,
bad."
that's so cool.
That's horrible.
It's so dumb.
We-
It's so
Hilarious.
Bro,
I'm probably gonna
Bro,
buy it, but
I
that
will-
sounds horrible.
I will unironically edit that like whole watch party into a full video.
But,
Wait. I
us
got
reacting to
a
it.
prompt for everybody. So, how many of us are gamers in here? You know, me, Slug, Badwick. You're a gamer, right? Yeah, you're a gamer.
Like sometimes.
Yeah, we
lady, you're a gamer.
Sometimes.
All right. Are you
Yeah,
guys
I'm a
getting
gamer.
Star Wars Rebels or Star Wars Outlaws? Excuse me.
Outlaws.
Outlaws.
I just pre-ordered
Yeah.
it last week.
With that one.
Yeah, I have a house.
Is it coming to Game Pass?
I don't know. I just pre-ordered it
EA
on
Play,
Ubisoft.
To be
Oh,
fair,
the
I'm
Ubisoft
sucker for
thing.
Star Wars
I
movies.
never get games on launch though. I usually wait for like the price to go down because
Yeah,
not
I wait a
only
bit.
yeah, because not only is it just financially smarter, but like also it's like games in launch now like
Yeah.
they don't release in a great state anymore. Whereas like really you're paying more for frankly what I would consider a worse experience. Whereas if you wait, like you're getting some damn good content at a pretty good price.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna
yeah.
say we could do like our our first experiences and expectations with the game one episode as like a segment, and then the next episode, like a week later, we had enough time to actually mess around with the game. We see like what kind of lore was in there.
Hey,
I don't. Is it going to be canon?
Yeah, it's canon. I have a thing with it that I do love. I love the fact that she has a BX commando droid as just a companion.
Yeah.
That wears a
You
fucking
noticed
vest.
that?
Again,
Dude, I said that on Reddit and I got dragged for it.
well, hey, I love the Separatists, so that was the first thing I
Oh,
noticed.
okay.
I was like, yeah,
Bro, I'm more pissed because y'all know I edit for adult models, and I'm going to be pissed dealing with the cosplayer types. Fucking cosplaying her when that shit comes
yeah,
out.
unless the game sucks and everybody hates her.
No, that's not gonna stop them.
I don't know. You don't see anyone.
Yeah, they do it with
cosplaying
Red.
I
as-
mean, there's League of Legends cosplays and that game fucking sucks. So I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
You're right.
There's a
like,
fan
usually
base
popular
to
cosplay.
jerk off for everything.
I can't wait to see everything I missed now in the episode. Fuck.
yeah, it's yeah. I don't know. We talked about grifters and shit.
Really?
Yeah.
What is
Yeah, that was a good
who here's who he? All right, so General Grievous, right? I love my boy General Grievous, but he's never anyone's favorite separatist.
Yeah,
He's
it's
always
true.
go for something
You
OP.
know what? You're right about that. I love Dooku. Dooku is arguably one of my favorite characters.
I would choose Dooku over
Dooku?
Grievous, but
Yeah,
my boy
same.
Grievous is always flipped on. I'm like, he's not a Jedi. He's just a
Here's-
warrior.
They made him
Here's
so
the thing.
scary looking in Tales of the Sith or Tales of the Empire when he fucking wipes out the Dathomorians. I'm like, why
Yeah.
was he not like
Yeah,
this in
that
the
was-
Clone Wars show? Why was he not this menacing? He was like,
Because he had asthma.
he had,
He
If
had
Grievous-
asthma, Badwick.
He's got his
They
daily
just
inside
got
his
Grievous.
suit.
He's an asthmatic cyborg. You
If
expect him?
If Grievous were real, he would be part of the commentary community because he's a fucking spurg.
yeah,
Oh, I bring a question to you guys. I bring a question to the board, the panel. So, seeing the release of Solo a few years back, right? The Han Solo Disney movie.
yeah.
How would you guys feel about a Disney Grievous movie only? Because it seems like we've
I'd
got
be
the
super
bounty
down.
hunters and
If it was
stuff.
the origin story, I would love it. I would.
Here's
love
what I
it.
think.
Wait,
As a-
they could
like
do
a
it
kid.
in the style of that recent Predator movie where they were hunting the natives.
Grievous basically, arguably, his species is like predators.
Didn't he hunt his own species, though?
Yeah, there's a civil. Well, okay, so Grievous.
Civil War on that planet, right?
Yeah, Grievous's species was like a warrior, like fucking species that fought each other for honor and all that.
Oh, they're like
Then
those
there
District
was,
9 looking guys.
Well, then there was this like other species that invaded their world, and I forget the fucking name of them, but they were basically praying mantis people, and basically his species fought these praying mantis people, and they were losing the fucking war. So now we're getting into like legend stuff. So
Are you
in
talking
the
about that thing
Legends
Obi-Wan
continuity,
fought?
Grievous was employed during like this conflict that was
called?
happening on his home world to work with the Techno Union. So then, as he was a bodyguard in the Techno Union, he was renowned for being this like super ruthless bodyguard and that type of shit. But then they wanted like the idea of the Separatists was coming along, so then they were just like, "Oh, we need a menacing droid general." So then they just they fucking blew up his own ship and then rebuilt him.
We can rebuild him,
Yeah, well,
but cheaper.
actually, like he was like just meant to be a scary fucking figure, but they wanted someone that knew how to fight as well. I think the idea they go with in canon, based on the Clone Wars episode Lair Grievous, is that he
chose this.
He chose it. Is like the difference in the canon.
I watched a joke video, Badwick. I'm actually going to send this to the group after.
Okay.
There's a joke video on YouTube, and it takes random people's credit scores. What would General Grievous' credit score be,
It'd be
right?
terrible. It'd be
And he
fucking
just has a
awful.
perfect credit score because he sells lightsabers and trophies
Oh, okay, they want
to pay off his
God.
debts, and they're always worth more than what the actual debt is. So he pays off the debt with, and so he's got like the perfect credit score in Star Wars. The Jedi's, believe it or not, have a horrible credit score. They never pay back any of their debts.
No, I can see that. I believe that. I thought
King
Grievous
Kong
was
also has the
terrible
worst
now.
insurance claims in the world. His insurance rate be insane.
Who does?
King Kong
Yeah.
outside of all the universe.
I can
Here's
see
what I
that.
think is probably may happen. So like much how they have Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire. I think it's possible we'll get like Tales of the Separatists, and we'll get it'll focus on Ventress and Grievous.
That'd be good.
Because those are characters. That,
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
They
Good
need
job
to
at Disney.
do the Ventress.
Disney's hiring.
all right, I'll apply.
They need a lot
And
less
make
pedophiles and more
them gay for the inclusivity points.
What's up, Sliggens?
Oh, hey, Sliggens.
They if they do anything in like the Republic.
Goddamn Star Wars. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, guys?
Oh, we're doing good.
What? No one heard you, Sliggins.
Oh, is my mic shit right now?
No.
Yes.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's trash. I already know. I heard it earlier on Slug stream. Fuck you.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, no, fuck. If they make anything, they need to do Cloak of Darkness with Quinlan Voss and.
Oh, dude, that's like a huge loose end right now. Yeah, I want them to do something with it. If they do Tales of the Jedi season 2, yeah.
Hopefully, I fucking love the Dooku stuff in that.
Yeah.
Dooku is such an interesting character because he never fully went to the dark side. He's like,
No, cause
hey, yo, I'm gonna just stick my dick in crazy for a little bit.
Yeah, Anakin as a Jedi was more powerful in the dark side than Dooku as a Sith.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, the problem with Dooku is that like it's the same thing as like Anakin. He went to the dark side because he wanted to do good. He wanted to.
The
fix
Clone
the
Wars,
world.
Dooku was the measuring stick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Dooku was
Yeah,
like for Jedi, Yoda
literally
would
join
technically be the
just so he could
measuring
help
stick.
out the universe.
Yes.
Kind of like
He
what
never-
Revan did.
He never fully committed to the actual dark side of the Force itself.
He was a diplomat.
Well, that was
Yeah.
how Dooku was still able to use Force Heal. That was like a huge thing about it.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't have Sith eyes. Yeah.
Because he generally thought the Republic was corrupted. That's why he makes a comment to Obi-Wan. He's like, Qui-Gon would agree with me.
Well, I
and
mean,
no one knows. Like,
they kind of are corrupt. I mean,
well, he was. That
they're,
was the whole
they're
thing.
running a whole money laundering Ponzi scheme within the Jedi Order over there. You know,
He just got fucked over by someone smarter than him, realistically.
Yep.
this is true.
Because that, like, he did honestly believe, like, he didn't even necessarily want to destroy the Republic. He wanted to basically remove the corruption from it. He wanted to remove the fucking businesses in it. He was like, it's ironic he was part of the Separatists because as a Jedi, he fundamentally disagreed with, like, these businesses and trade federations having a voice in the Republic. He was, like, super against that.
So could we say that Dooku was a Darth Doofus?
Well, in layman's terms, he was
Someone
fighting
else.
for reasonable pay for Amazon warehouse workers, essentially.
Kind of. Dooku was a socialist.
We all know those Amazon workers don't
He's
deserve
like,
any benefit.
these people are working day in and day out, and that nobody cares for them.
I mean,
I'm gonna
Bad
fight for them,
Batch
but he's
kinda
like evil. He's a necessary evil. So
Bad Batch,
Oof.
he kinda
Sort
stole,
of.
like,
He
all the
wasn't, like-
wealth from like everyone.
Yeah, exactly. He was still very greedy.
Shitty, yeah. He
That's
was still
kinda-
a shitty person.
So,
Tritium.
yeah.
But he wasn't the worst by any. Like there are a lot worser people.
He cut off.
I mean,
a
he didn't
poor-
kill
he cut off a
children.
poor
Anakin did
teenage
that, and he was a
Anakin's
Jedi.
hand. How could he?
made
Good, he
Anakin
deserved it.
He's
stronger.
maiming children.
He made Anakin stronger, for one. If he didn't do that to Anakin, Anakin wouldn't pass the trial of flesh. So he arguably helped Anakin become a Jedi Knight faster. So Dooku did some good for Anakin. I still
Also
Yeah,
think-
but
pissed
at
him
what
off and made him
cost?
stronger in the dark side.
yeah, it's true. Dooku really pissed Anakin off.
So-
This is Trigger.
Yeah.
Hey, Badwick, there's something on your couch.
What is there?
I think when Anakin killed Dooku, I think that's where it all went downhill. Honestly,
Yeah,
for
when he
Anakin.
was like, fucking, if Obi-Wan was there, he wouldn't have done it. That is how the
He
whole
wouldn't,
scene
yeah.
would have fucking played out. Dooku would have been captured, gone to the Jedi, squealed on fucking Palpatine, and then
Absolutely.
arguably Order 66 still would have happened.
He was like seconds away from like just
Yeah.
squealing on Palpatine anyways.
Do you guys think Yoda knew Order 66 was going to happen, or do you
No.
think
Yoda
he made the
did
biggest
know.
error in his
No,
ways?
He had a
So-
feeling.
Yoda knew something was going to happen with the Jedi, but it was meant to happen. That was the whole purpose of his Clone
Yeah.
Wars arc,
Yeah.
was that he needed to accept that, like, change was going to happen to the Jedi. And that, like...
He became
I just
so
don't think he
cocky.
saw it. Yeah, I just don't think I think he was too arrogant to see what the outcome was going to be.
Yeah, but he knew...
No,
like, he
didn't wanna
had to
believe
accept
it.
with the wills.
Yeah.
That was his whole fucking purpose of his arc, was that, like, you're not some fucking godlike figure, and like you are still corruptible and all this. And even with his fight with when they had like the theoretical fight with Yoda and Sidious, he still like couldn't fucking figure it out. He knew that there was a Dark Lord, he knew Dooku was involved, but it was still fucking clouding him. And like all
Question for the panel.
Sorry?
I got a question for the panel now that you
what's
bring
up?
that up. In Acolytes, they're able to inseminate their pregnancies with the Force. Now, if I became a Jedi and I tried hard enough, do you think I can impregnate any woman I choose to focus my mind on? Use
Yes.
The Force?
No, because it breaks
Yes.
the fucking lore of the fucking Star Wars song.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it
Fuck
wouldn't be
you!
fair.
Fuck you!
I can
You're
just
just
look
a
at somebody
bad
and be like,
space
pregnant.
wizard.
Listen,
And they just get pregnant.
It really just
Flatley.
throws Anakin's thing out the window of him being born
Okay.
by the Force, and he's the only one that was.
Okay. All right, listen. Okay, I
All right,
have a
lady,
theory.
pregnant.
Flatley,
God, I'm so sorry. The
I
baby's
think
so
if you
ugly.
try to do that to a woman, it'll just go to Slug instead.
Ew.
I birthed a slug. That's cool. The Force
Well,
is listening
at least
to me.
I get
must
child
be stronger.
So what are your guys' actual favorite factions though? I'm just actually curious.
The Separatists.
I like the Paladins.
They're corrupt as fuck, but I actually do think the Republic like is the most interesting in their downfall.
Like
The
I don't know,
Mandalorians.
I like.
Mandalorians are
The
cool.
Yes,
Night
Mandalorians,
Sisters,
let's
because
go,
they're
Sliggens.
space lesbians.
I'm gonna be honest. The First Order, the Separatists.
So you like
and
the
New Republic.
neo-Nazis?
I just, they're just like domineering, like they own their shit, and a lot of stuff doesn't happen without
Bro, they had so
the
much drip too,
without the
dude.
First Order.
They
Yeah.
are actually like pretty.
This is how
like, the
Germany
whole, like-
fell to the Nazis. Not through propaganda,
They
but
had
through
their-
Oh,
they
their
had
no,
their
fucking
problems.
nice
we're talking
drip.
about the Nazis again. Oh boy.
But think
Not
of
just-
think about
Oh, man.
the Mandalorians
Oh,
and
boy.
everything, like nothing happens without them.
I actually like the First Order flatly because if you think about it, like they are very different from the Empire. They are made up of like Imperial old heads, but it's basically like if those old heads during the Imperial time had full control of everything they want to do. Like rather than recruit people, they steal babies and then they fucking brainwash babies. And like they are way less.
They're like the
sympathetic.
Jedi.
It's the first time we see in film
like
we see that real dark side of
Right, and they are
the actual like elitism and
Yeah.
everything behind
no totally.
behind the scenes, because it's not like a hero Luke story anymore. We actually get to see the villain fleshed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, like they are not merciful. Like the Empire still played into like the bureaucracy, and like
Was it like the first 15 minutes? The dude choke kills the Force
Yeah.
chokes somebody, kills him right away, snaps his neck.
yeah, no, the First Order is like brutal and extreme. That like they were like totally different than the Empire. The Empire, like I said, like played off the bureaucracy of the Republic. They still like had to like maintain civil order. They still were like
Yeah, the Empire's so boring.
They
Dude.
were they honestly were just the Republic.
Because it was just Vader that would do any violence. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Other than
funnily enough,
Tarkin,
the
Palpatine,
First
but-
Order is
Tarkin.
closer to actual Nazis, like with the
Yeah.
whole like taking kids, making them into soldiers.
those Spartans
Yeah,
did that too.
brainwashing them,
So.
and if
Yeah.
they stray away from being brainwashed, they turn into Finn. You know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
My favorite thing with it too is how Kylo makes that fucking remark against Hux when like Finn like when they're talking about like Finn and how he was like fucked up and Hux is like, oh no, like can't be one of my men, and then Kylo's like, maybe I should have gone with a clone army. Fucking
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is he wrong though?
Absolutely not.
Like,
No.
you wouldn't have any of those issues if you had a
Yeah,
clone
I mean
army.
historically
not
throughout
wrong at all.
Star Wars.
Part of the reason
Yeah,
Palpatine
yeah.
The most
and
competent.
Tarkin got rid of the clones was because they were too much of a threat. Like to
Yeah.
I
control
love.
him.
So I don't really like the what are they called? The last three movies. The last what are the, I don't know
The
what that's
sequel
called. That
trilogy,
era.
Yeah.
They're fucking. But I really like if Kylo Ren was in another universe in Star Wars, because it looks like he's really looking at everything from the top down.
Yeah.
He's always got like snide remarks of like, well, why don't we do this? And it's almost like very close, not fourth wall breaking, but it's almost very close, like the clone army thing, very close to that fourth wall thing. Like, yeah, why didn't they go with the clone army? Like,
Well,
what? Who made that idea?
Didn't wait. What happened to
he said, it's
Camino
'cause they
though?
were,
Camino got
Oh.
fucked in the Bad
Yeah.
Batch. They fucked
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. We blew it up.
Yeah, they
Forgot the good guys blew it up.
Yeah, how would they have
Mr.
gone about making that
President.
clone army? Never even thought about that.
Mr.
how do you
President,
Camino-
a second
Bro,
Star
I'll be
Destroyer
honest,
has
Whoa,
hit
whoa, whoa,
Camino.
whoa. They didn't die?
Everyone.
Scariest planet in all Star Wars, just an ocean planet. Fuck that. That's terrifying.
Why?
I mean, yeah.
Doesn't it feel
Camino's like one of my
fishy?
favorite planets.
Fuck that. It's beautiful to play on Battlefront 2. I'm not going there. I'm not setting my feet on that planet. Fuck that.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
I don't know
I'm
what's
not
in those
setting
waters
foot on
and it's always
Dathomir,
storming.
bro.
Fuck
I don't want
outta
no
here.
giant spiders fucking eating me up with these witches
That's what I'm
trying to
saying,
impregnate
bro.
me with the force. Like, this crazy.
Yeah.
Come on, this-
What do you mean? Why can't you have some
Sliggens with
fucking
fanfic
space
rules.
lesbians?
This sounds like a Dead Space novel. What the fuck?
Fucking, in my opinion,
First ever heard of
Felucia is the
Dathomir.
worst fucking planet.
Yeah.
I'm living on
There's
any
like-
planet.
Honestly, I am very happy that we have space lesbians now. They're people for Lady Nerd Artist.
What's the one with
I
the
feel like
wookies?
she will-
Kashyyyk.
She-
Yeah, Kashyyyk's really shitty.
The tall
too.
trees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're
The
on the
Ewok
fucking
all live there
ground-
too? Fuck yeah, I'm living there. I live in the trees.
Not when you meet the animals there at all.
Yeah, no,
besides the
fuck
Wookiees.
that. Something's
Nope.
gonna kill you in Kashyyyk.
Kashyyyk-
Taurus
It's
Or
like,
Naboo
the
are your
Amazon,
safest
it's like
bets.
it's like
Naboo?
the Amazon jungle of Star Wars.
Naboo's
bro.
for basic bitches. Fuck that.
No, fuck that. They got the Aqua Sea Monster in Naboo. That big ass fucking Godzilla thing.
Well,
that
yeah,
lives
but
in the
your
ocean.
chances of running into that are pretty low.
Jar Jar.
Yeah, but they're never zero. They're never zero, Chemo, so therefore L planet.
There's always a bigger fish.
Right? Imagine if they won. Like, imagine if that monster just ate Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and fucking Jar Jar. That'd be it. That's the fucking
Yeah,
No,
it's
shit.
over. It's the end.
I was just talking to my brother about this, completely unrelated. But we were having a couple beers over the fire, and he brought this up. When they're having those space fights, right?
Okay.
The dog fights in space.
Yeah.
They're firing their little lasers.
Yeah.
In space, there is no friction,
Yeah, they don't stop.
and hyper beams can go infinitely, right?
Yeah,
So
they don't stop.
imagine this: you're a peasant farmer working on Naboo or some shit
Oh
like that. Right?
no.
All of a sudden, your house gets taken out by a green hyper beam from outer space because your planet has a gravitational pull. This has never been explained in Star Wars.
No, it's
Where do those
like, why is there
blaster
fires
bolts
in
go?
space? It's one of those.
Holy
things.
shit.
Why? How is there?
Could you
fire in
imagine
space in
you're
Star
cooking
Wars?
dinner for your 4 children and the 3 of them get taken out by one hyper beam, bro? Just randomly?
Well,
That's a
goodbye
random
alimony.
trade.
Just a bolt from a fucking TIE fighter from
Right, that's
like
what I
half a
was
light year away.
And where do those ships go when they explode? Because they get really close to orbit on some of these other planets, bro.
Well, they crash or
Who's
they
gonna
just keep
pay for
floating.
this? The first order, like if a TIE fighter comes in and it's not like the first order, you gotta pay for this, bro.
Have you guys played?
The
Star
Galactic
Wars
Republic, one of you guys gotta
Fighter?
answer for this. Somebody, one of y'all is paying that bill. I'm just saying. I'm
Uh,
suing.
They'll just
Isn't
bring
there
more
like
fighters?
home insurance for that?
Okay, I live with the Ewok slug. Where the fuck am I gonna get home insurance?
Why would you pick Endor to live on? Fuck that.
You know what? You're a
boring ass
fucking
planet.
idiot. I want to nuke the
I live in the
entire
trees.
fucking
I
Ewok.
live in the trees for the reason because all the deadly things are on the ground.
You know what? Live on Cloud City, bro.
No, fuck
Oh,
that.
fuck yeah.
Dude, oh yeah, one drunk night, you go over the railings, it's over for you.
Yo, come on. Lando drinking Colt 45 never did it.
True.
Yeah, I don't
Dude,
know.
imagine with my ass, I'd like those helicopter pads, the landing pads I have. My
Just
fucking
fucking
heels would
walk
click
off.
together or some shit like that. I'm going over the edge. It's over. It's
All
over.
right,
I
we
just-
gotta find
this-
a safe planet for Flatley. That's the.
No, this is sounding like a skill issue because Flatley can't handle his alcohol.
I'm also terrified of heights.
Yeah, that.
So-
Yeah,
Star
that's
Wars,
a
I'm out.
skill
Yeah, I'm out.
issue. That is
terrified
unironically a
of heights in
skill
the
issue.
ocean.
What about?
I'm just gonna
Alderaan?
get a really good. I'm gonna get really good at the force and pull everyone to me. Space fight.
Yeah, what
I don't
about
think
what
so.
about Alderaan Flatley?
Yeah, Alderaan.
You know what? I like Alderaan.
Even though it gets fucking fucked, but
Yeah, maybe don't go over there at the time of A New Hope.
What's
but other than that, you
what's
should
the
be
one
fine.
that blows up? Alderaan.
Alderaan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah,
I wanna be there.
What's it called? Yeah, Alderaan.
I don't gotta worry about
and,
anything.
Oh god, what's the New Republic?
Oh, that salt planet's cool too.
Right? There's
Yeah.
nothing there though. I don't know how you'd live there.
It's salt. You
I
just
wouldn't.
go.
I would just die. Then I wouldn't have to worry about
Just
living
die.
anywhere.
Oh, so you'd pull
Okay.
a Luke Skywalker?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, that
Force will
planet
keep me
Luke was
alive.
on. That shit looked pretty nice.
Oh, Octo?
Tatooine?
Tattoo
No.
moon,
Maybe
buddy.
He's
Octo.
talking about in the Last Jedi.
Ah.
Octo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah,
dope.
you can live with the fish people.
The snow planet. What is that? Hoth?
Wait,
Oh,
was
you don't-
he
you can't-
milking?
no, I don't
Was
think you
he
want that one.
milking
Yeah,
those like
Flatley, you
fish
can milk the
cows?
walruses.
I'll live there. I can invent
Flatley
hockey in the
milk.
Star Wars
Fucking
universe.
masochist.
You know, Flatley, I can see you being a blue milk farmer, but you dress up as like a maid milking the cow things, just being
I'll
like
do whatever as long as
just
it pays and I don't die.
exactly. You're just like
You know how easy
milking
it
my
is to die in
cow
the Star Wars
thing.
universe, bro. I can roll a nat 20 in a bullshit D&D game in the Star Wars universe, and a lightsaber will cut through my front door because they're looking for someone else. I'd be like, "Yo, this is the wrong house, buddy." Like I'm literally, and I can't talk shit because I'm gonna get force choked, and then I'm probably gonna die. I'll be made an example of.
Okay,
I'll be clearing some pots
what
and pans
if
in the market square, and some stormtrooper's gonna blow my back of my head out with a blaster, and I'm just like, dude, I don't even know if there are Jedi around. I don't even know how to spell Jedi at this point.
I don't know how to spell
hot
Jedi.
hot take? What if while you're being force choked, you come? What do they do after that?
Probably snap my neck, but you know what? I'll go out in a blaze of glory, field of pleasure.
I like how like half of this show
No,
is
no.
just like Slug going over all his Star Wars related sexual
It's
fantasies.
just, right? It's
Ultra
Yeah, pretty
alpha
much.
move, right? Darth Vader comes, starts force choking you. I pull my pants down and start jerking off.
okay. No lie, I've always thought about this. Do you guys think Darth Vader stinks?
Dude, he smells like shit. He doesn't shower. You
Right?
kidding me?
I always thought
Wait,
about that. Like,
no, he has
Yoda
the
always-
back
Yoda always
tank.
took me as a guy
Okay,
that
but how
smelled
does
like shit,
back
too.
this actually smell? We don't
Back
really
like,
know.
It has like the same consistency as like Alvino. It's like fucking goopy and shit. I honestly
Oh,
think
wait,
he's, like,
aloe vera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or whatever it is.
All right,
aloe
listen.
Where
vera.
I would want to live, that
Oh,
weird
it's like a
fucking
vegetal
dimension
smell.
that was in one of those Legends books where it's like rainbows and fucking that fucking place. Oh, I keep forgetting what it's called.
California.
No, it's like it's like a different dimension or whatever. That's just like
Jar
full
Jar
of
Binks smells
clouds,
like shit, too.
rainbows, and there's like
Motherfucker's
a
a fish.
castle. It was fucking weird. It was
I'm
like one of
trying
the
to
weirdest
think,
things
Sliggins,
in
what
Star Wars.
what book is it from?
Fuck, if I could barely remember the place, you think I can remember the book?
Why
No.
are you expecting Sliggins to know how to
'Cause he
read?
knows a lot of like Legends EU. Fucking.
No, he
I mean,
doesn't.
Slug, you know how to read. If you can do it, anyone can.
Wait, Sliggins,
Yeah.
is it in the Old Republic MMO game?
Sliggins, do you know how to read?
Fuck. Hold on, I literally have to look it up. It's been
What is that,
fucking 12 years. I'm gonna pretend Slug isn't here, but
I am so tempted.
Okay.
I'm very curious on.
I know this is
Sliggins.
very off topic, but I think the only reason Darth Vader bathes is because they have like a little car wash.
What?
I totally forgot you were here until
No, he
this very
bathes,
moment.
he'll fucking die
I
out there.
forgot you were here. Oh god.
That's
Yeah, no, I
this.
feel like,
I would.
like if you're just like a regular Imperial officer, like not wearing like armor or anything, just like on board with fucking Star Destroyer, and that guy walked past you, he'd fucking smell like fucking shit. Like he's open wounds, probably fucking necrotic,
Exactly.
goopy as shit, and like you know if you make a remark, he's gonna fucking kill you. So you just.
oh,
have to
I think it
fucking
was called Dreamland. Fuck, I keep forgetting fucking what it was called. It was some stupid name like that.
Yeah, it's like some Kirby shit.
Gladly.
Yeah, it was like a
That's
dream
Kirby.
world that this like different dimension dream world that this fucking like dude thought up or whatever, and then he lived there. It was really fucking
Nice.
weird. It was a really fucking weird story. I didn't understand.
Sounds like Star Wars Legends.
yeah,
Yeah,
it definitely
definitely.
was.
Yeah.
You know
What
is
about
very
you,
cool?
Badwick? What planet would you choose?
Me, I don't know. I honestly like probably like fucking Naboo. Seems temperate and warmish.
Wow,
Or,
Naboo,
hot
are
women.
you a racist?
Or the planet Kit Fisto comes from, and I can't remember the name of it, but basically its
can't remember.
references being like,
Okay,
the-
I actually need to ask, why are there so few like Twi'lek and Togruta brothels?
what are you talking about? They're
Oh my
literally
God.
like Twi'lek.
Yeah, that's like their whole
sex
thing.
trade of like fucking Star Wars.
Why the fuck are they like sex trafficked? Why
Because
can't
they're-
other species be sex
Because
trafficked?
Huts think
Because they're
exotic.
pretty.
Pretty much, like Huts think.
All
they're
right,
exotic.
lady, what
So
about
wait,
your planet?
wait. Since and this is a point that Chemo brought up. Since
Well,
George
Slug thinks he has a
Lucas,
choice on what planet. You're going to be a part of the Jawas, bro. Come on. Come on.
Okay.
Slug
I am
is
not
fucking
going to
exotic.
Wait, what
Tatooine, you
was the
bitch.
planet that I wrote?
Yeah, fuck
Motherfucker's
that,
gonna
man.
buy and sell droid parts. Like, yeah, we got droidicity over here.
Blah 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 blah
Wait,
blah.
oh wait.
What was the
Um,
planet?
I'll change my answer. The planet Andor. was on when he got captured by
Ooh.
the Empire. I forget the name of it. It's like where he was like fucking hooking up with that girl, and like he gets captured by the K2SO droid in his show. It's like literally a beach resort planet. I'd go there. It seems nice and pretty. Or Geonosis, so I can fight in the gladiatorial
Why the
arenas for
fuck?
my honor.
Oh my god.
Coruscant.
Yeah, Coruscant's mine too.
I mean,
Honestly,
Coruscant's dope
I
as fuck.
probably want to live in
But
Geonosis.
but unironically, to expand on like the George Lucas basing it off of like the Nazis and the Vietnam War, doesn't that make the Twi'leks and the Togruta the Vietnamese and Korean women that were trafficked throughout those wars?
like,
God
maybe-
bless.
Like maybe.
Who cares as long as I get paid?
Like they were originally
Oh my
just
God.
created because they needed like a fucking like alien. There was like I don't think he had any thought in what he made them.
He's like, all right, make a
Golden
hot,
Fleece.
sexy lady
Right?
woman species that you can pull their hair, but it's not actually hair; it's just two fucking dangly things. Make it easier.
The blue lady?
Let
Dude,
the
wood,
dangle
wood,
angles
wood.
dangle, my guy.
You know why Carrie Fisher actually became Leia? Because she was not the first person casted to be Leia. The first person casted to be Leia was a totally different actor, but she refused to wear the bikini that George Lucas wanted.
And she refused
Oh,
to
did
do
he have that
toenails as
plan?
well.
Yeah.
Did he have it planned that early on?
Yeah, George Lucas had like an idea of what he wanted to do for the whole series.
George.
But like
Good
I don't
old
know what to say
Georgie.
about
Carrie
that.
Fisher
That's
is like,
cool.
I'll show
George
my
is like
tits.
Slug, honestly, a little bit, you know, just his fantasy.
What did I
made into
do?
reality.
What did I do? Fuck you!
Slug if he made movies instead of doing commentary.
It's literally just porn. That's it.
It'd be
Didn't he tell
One
Carrie
Wookiee.
Fisher not to wear underwear because they don't have underwear in space?
I think so.
Yeah.
There's
Ew.
a lot of weird things with her that like would not have flown. Like
Oh,
flown
yeah,
and gone
nah.
down well.
That's when you had to sleep your way in Hollywood.
Kind of.
Kind
But actually,
You
to
know,
be fair,
it's
she was with
back during the
Spielberg,
good
and
old days.
Spielberg hasn't really had like.
I'm sorry, did you just say
that?
the good old days, Slug?
You don't know what I said. You're a woman.
She was made to
Shut the
sleep with
fuck up.
Warwick Davis in front of everybody.
Oh. 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 I didn't know that tidbit. Jesus Christ.
I actually like Warwick Davis. I feel bad about making that joke.
Are you sure you feel bad?
I do. I like midgets.
I don't feel bad.
They're the only like marginalized group I feel sorry for.
What, Ewoks?
Midgets.
Jawas?
They do
Jawas
come
are
up
rat
short.
people. They deserve nothing. Nothing good.
Oh, dude, you've ever looked underneath those hoods? Oh,
rat
ugh.
The Jawussy?
Yeah, they're
Okay,
like rat
okay,
people.
all
They
right,
look
John
like
Wussy.
stop,
Slug's
Slug, you
fucking
can't.
gooch.
I'm sorry, man. You're the one that looked at the Jawussy. You have to describe it now.
Bro, every time I see a fucking Jawa in any Star Wars game, I just fucking kill it immediately. I can't stand those little
It is so fun.
I can't stand those little motherfuckers. They're so annoying.
I actually liked, the Mandalorian scene where he was like attacking the fucking sandcrawler and he was just like fucking shooting them.
Yeah, dude, I
Every
was literally cheering him on the entire
Right?
time he was
I
doing
actually
that.
fucking love that.
Slug, you misunderstand. Sliggins would be into the Nemoidians. He likes Asians.
I forgot those existed. You shouldn't have done this to me. What the fuck?
The ones with the big eyes?
Did you know Nemodians are off-set species of the Duros? They're like a mutant species of them. You also know
I
that
did
they
not know
lay
that.
eggs and they start off as grubs.
Okay, never mind. We're not going into this. No thanks.
Well, Slug is a slug,
I-
so it makes sense.
Hi!
He's a Nemodian.
It's my people.
Wow, went
So
silent
wait,
after
what
that.
species do you guys think you would be if you were in Star Wars?
Human.
What?
Probably human, like I am
Yeah,
now.
I think that'd be all of us. Just people.
Other than
Nah,
Slug
I'd
would
be
an
a
Nemodian.
hut.
Wasn't
I'd be a
Earth,
hut.
wasn't Earth like mentioned as Terra? They called it like Terra or
In
something.
Legends, there was a reference to it that it was like the Milky Way galaxy was like a thing, but that was
Yeah, they didn't really go into it. There's like, yeah, there was this
No.
place like this
Yeah.
far
Well,
away with this.
The
this
Milky Way
planet called
galaxy is
Terra.
canon because it references its point of view from Earth in a galaxy far, far away. That's a point of view from Earth. telling the tale of Star Wars.
You're looking at this as a fourth wall.
All right, yeah, you're you're looking
From
too
From
a
a
much.
sus
But in
point of view.
Legends, there was like a vague reference to it.
Yeah,
And I think it relates to the ET thing, where like if in episode 1 the ET race is.
That's
in
right.
the
Yeah,
Senate.
ETs are in episode 1.
Yeah, it's like a rabbit hole.
Did they get murdered?
No, they're just in the Senate building.
yeah.
So they
See
get
them.
murdered.
It's a
I think
Steven
it's a
Spielberg
Spielberg
thing.
reference.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more of just a reference than it actually
Yeah.
fucking yeah.
'Cause
No,
he's
there
plugged
is that
into all of them.
reference
He's a producer.
in ET. There's a reference in ET. The kid in the Yoda costume, right?
Yep.
Where like ET runs over to it and is like, home, home. So
Yeah.
Oh shit! I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
They
they
were
Yeah.
shout- they were ba- it was basically their way of
Oh.
like shouting each other out. Basically, that's
Well,
how they
Spielberg,
did it.
he gets a portion of the profits of A New Hope.
Yep.
That's the thing. They made it.
Indeed.
Yep. And also George Lucas got John Williams through Steven Spielberg as well.
That is so funny.
Fun novels. I actually have a Star Wars trivia book. We should do that.
Yes.
yeah.
It's like it's obscure. Like it is like wild questions, but I think it's from episodes 1 to 6, and it's like fucking like a book of like 40,000 questions. It's multiple
Didn't
choice though.
Spielberg also direct like portions of Revenge of the Sith? Like, didn't he do the Utapau stuff? That could be some bullshit I heard, but
I'm not sure. I haven't
heard that
actually looked
somewhere.
into that. I know he's like produced, like he's part of like the team, but I'm not sure honestly.
I wish I
Alright,
was in
guys,
Star Wars.
I gotta
I would
call
make
it a night,
Nickelback canon.
Oh, I have a
Landed off.
theory.
So you wanna
I have a
call it a
theory
day?
about the Acolyte. I have a
Okay,
theory.
What's your theory?
Oh no, not the Acolyte.
Oh, you mean the best show?
All right, Slug, fuck off. Anyways, my theory is that I already know. I already know the theory that he's obviously not the master because he doesn't have a name. He literally
Okay.
says it. He's like, "Oh, I don't have a name," which is you should have a Sith name, obviously. So if he doesn't have a name, he's still a pupil. But I think whatever him and his master or whatever group he's part of is a progenitor to the Knights of Ren.
Oh, I've seen that floating around. I've seen.
Yeah,
that
I've heard
theory,
that
yeah.
one.
I don't know. I think it's probably like a Plagueis trying to reach his little tendrils around.
Dude, it breaks canon so hard though because it honestly, fuck Kiadi Mundi, bro. You lied to Qui-Gon saying there was no Sith and you covered it all up. How could you? How could you?
Yeah, what he said.
I mean, for all we know,
What
he
if,
doesn't end
what
up
if they
finding
just
out
turned
about
it?
any of
What
this
if the
shit.
way they explain this not breaking canon is like, yeah, they just covered it up? That'd be so lazy.
Honestly-
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
What do you mean it's lazy? It's accurate. It's what the Jedi
Yeah.
would do.
It's
Uh,
accurate, but it's lazy. You know what I mean? I feel like they could.
What do you mean the Jedi are lazy? They'll cover it up.
So I don't. I would like the Kylo Ren or the Ren theory, but the creator of like the Knights of Ren is like not even born yet. That's the problem.
True.
The,
Yeah.
the,
Well.
the Knights of like the Ren like group was like an after Empire sort of organization that just kind of
Ah,
sought out
shit.
their
You're
side
right. I
projects,
keep forgetting that. God damn it.
Another
Yeah.
win for
Timeline.
That was
me.
like their whole gimmick was like we're gonna find artifacts of these like dark lords and Sith users, and that's why when you see them in the movies, they're like they look like they're just a mix of fucking thrown together armor and shit like that. It's because it's all like shit from like Sith in the past and shit like that.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like that library, that Jedi library that Luke was in,
Yeah.
where he says, yeah, this is what the Jedi had. It also reminds me of the Jedi Survivor games where you're going through like old Jedi temples and shit and like figuring things
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, that's I
Especially in
like
the
that.
new game where you get to learn about the High Republic more.
Hey, dude,
But yeah.
he's part of the High Republic.
Yeah, he's that fucking old. Yeah.
But what's it called? No, I think he's just the apprentice.
Yeah, I think he's an apprentice to either Plagueis or some
Tenebris.
new fucking character that we've never heard of. Which
you know
I-
what?
Harambe.
I wouldn't be upset if it was Plagueis or like something.
It would be a
like
very
that.
young Plagueis, though, wouldn't it? Or how old was he during High Republic times? Wasn't he just like a fucking
Could be
teenager at that
Tenebris.
point?
Could be like Plagueis.
Oh, it could.
And
It
you
could,
see,
yeah.
like a Plagueis kill him in the end.
Yeah. Oh,
too.
dude, that'd be fucking nuts.
Because the main thing to
Or he
remember with
poisons
the
them or
Sith
whatever.
is that they all pass their knowledge down. You have like the master that like conceals all the knowledge and hoards the knowledge, and the apprentice that craves it. But they all are united in that same goal, where it's like there is an ultimate plan to beat the Jedi. So they all arguably pass down their knowledge, like, pretty much verbally. You know
Unlike
what
the
I mean?
Jedi, where their shit gets like wiped
Yeah.
out like every fucking 100 years.
Yeah, exactly. I that villain has kind of grown on me. I don't hate him as much. I just think his mask is a little goofy. However, I love that it's made
Darth
of ketosis.
Smiley, bro. Holy
Right?
shit.
Darth
do.
Joder,
Darth
dude.
Smilus.
Yeah. Okay.
I love the fact that they included that in
Darth Midas.
Darth Smilus.
Dude, I don't know why so many people are so confused by his armor, like deactivating lightsabers when it's literally in Legends. It's a certain type
Yeah.
of metal that.
It's been around a little bit.
Protosis.
I
Yeah.
love how he killed that fucking girl, whatever her fucking name was.
Dude,
Just-
that was so cold.
I also thought it was really cheesy that they made her scream and literally hold her lightsaber up above her head and run at him, and then she died.
Yeah.
She deserved to die. That's how she attacked someone.
Arguably, she was probably. She was very.
I'm not gonna
strong
lie, I
for what
like
she
it.
was, to be honest. Like she was able to hold her own while everybody else is just getting fucking sliced down.
Right?
But also,
Well,
it's because he
I-
was shooting after. He was also like not really trying to. He was just like, all right, I'm gonna like push you out of the way. I'm trying to fucking capture whatever the
I
fuck.
got business. I got
Yeah,
business
literally.
here.
so
I got
He was
my
kinda holding
business.
back, but then at that moment, he's just like, all right, I can't deal with you no more. I'm just gonna fucking kill you. I can't stand this.
That's what you get for being annoying, you know?
So someone did make a good point about how he was able to kill so many Jedi compared to like the Jedi that we were used to seeing in the prequel series. So one of the arguments someone made was that basically in the High Republic era is arguably when the Jedi are most arrogant, when they think
Oh,
the most
absolutely.
about themselves. So arguably, I guess like the argument they're making is that they've really laxed on their like powers and like abilities and combat because the fact that they're already just like considered fucking
Just the name, yeah, just the name itself,
Exactly.
like,
and that was
yeah.
like an argument made that like they're arguably suffering because of their own order with their own skill and ability, while like if you only have a Sith and an apprentice and a master, that's all they do is fucking train. So like it makes sense why he was able to arguably wipe all of them out, because by the time of the prequels, you could even say by episode 2, by the end of episode 2 and 3, like Jedi were just fucking generals at this point. If you weren't able to be a general, you died.
Oh yeah, they
You know
were.
what I mean?
I arguably, I think that the Clone Wars Jedi were stronger than the High Republic ones just because
Yeah.
of that.
And not only
Because
that,
they were meant to battle. Like that's what
well,
they
like-
were. They were generals.
yeah,
who
they were already
battling.
prepared for the Sith because they had just encountered Maul.
Yeah, and like after episode 1 was arguably when like they call it the Separatist Crisis,
Mhm.
not the Clone Wars, but the Crisis. There was a lot of conflict in the galaxy, where Jedi were dispatched to be kind of like peacekeepers.
Yeah.
So
Well,
there-
while
that
in
was
the
a
High
whole-
Republic, the name itself, and they were just like lax. Like you just said, they were very
Yeah.
lax. They were they're like, all right, our name is enough. We don't really have to train all that much. You know, who's gonna come after a Jedi? These
Well,
fucking boys.
It's kind of like what Palpatine said. The hero.
No one can kill a Jedi.
Right? Well,
Dude-
Anakin in episode 1 says that. He's
No.
like,
Yeah.
no one can kill a Jedi. And
Yeah,
Qui-Gon's
literally.
Like, I don't know about
Yeah, I don't know about
Hey,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
it's why Qui-Gon's the perfect Jedi. He didn't have that arrogance. He was humble.
And he
Yeah.
knew the future.
Yep.
Yeah.
He knew what Anakin was going to be.
Which is
he knew he was like the chosen one. I don't think Qui-Gon would agree with Anakin going to the dark side, but he was more like,
Here's the
Rey
thing. What if he
Skywalker
did?
is the Drake of Star Wars compared to Qui-Gon, who is the Kendrick Lamar.
wait. So she likes children?
Wait,
And
you're
she's an
calling
industry
Anakin a pedophile?
Rhea Skywalker is an industry plant. She is not a real
He's
Skywalker.
saying Ray.
How dare you take the
Yeah.
Skywalker name? How dare you?
Hey, Ray. I hear you like him young.
it's hard for me, Flatley, like on your question though, with like Qui-Gon, like if he's the perfect Jedi or not, because I am really torn on Obi-Wan, like very torn on.
I
I
think it's Qui-Gon.
I
I
think
think- I think
Obi-Wan
in
was the
the- I
perfect
think-
general in every single way because he had that wisdom about him without losing his humanity. Because he's still,
Mhm.
he's still a personal. He has his faults and he admits
They
them.
both do.
And he
That-
has
that's
those
what-
conversations.
Also, George has said, had Qui-Gon survived, Anakin would not have turned.
Oh,
He was
no,
the perfect
absolutely.
master for
Qui-Gon
Anakin.
was the best master for Anakin.
Oh
He's
yeah,
the best
absolutely.
master. I still would argue the perfect Jedi.
I also
He's
think
like,
He was
Ahsoka
meant
never
for
walked
Anakin.
away. If Ahsoka never walked away from the Order either, I think Anakin wouldn't have actually like the events. Of
Yeah,
episode 3 would have
she
been
could
different.
have saved him from that, honestly.
Yeah,
But-
I
Like,
absolutely
More ways than one.
it's why it's called the
And-
Duel of the Fates. It's the
the
fate of
way-
Anakin.
Yeah. The
Well,
way
Ahsoka also had that childish nature about her that Anakin has long forgotten since his pod racing days, being with the Jedi. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, she definitely brings that out in him. I would say. I know what you mean by that.
to answer
It's
the
almost like a
Obi-Wan-
brother sister kind of
It just
mentality.
brings
you know what I mean?
out. Just brings out
to
his
answer the
humanity.
Obi-Wan thing. To answer the Obi-Wan thing, if he was a perfect Jedi or not. I think towards the end, yes, he was a perfect Jedi. But towards like for most of his years, he wasn't the best Jedi, you know what I mean? But I think towards the end where he said, if you strike me down, yeah, I can become more powerful than you could possibly imagine, he started becoming more like Qui-Gon.
It's hard. So the thing about Obi-Wan, I find whenever you compare him to other people, it's really hard when you look at his character and break him down, because he arguably has like 20 years after Episode 3. Where
Yeah.
he's like living on his own, you know what I mean, and arguably learning.
Self-reflection.
We don't even know
Right.
like half the stuff either, too. So
Yeah, that's why I find him like. I think like he obviously has faults, but even Qui-Gon had faults at the same time. Like,
Do you think he interacted with Qui-Gon?
yes,
In those 20 years?
yeah, he did.
Qui-Gon talks about how coming back from the Force is like extremely awful feeling. It is.
So that's canon?
It's painful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
I thought
it's
it was just a
painful to
theory,
come back
okay.
From the Force, and like you're going against the general grain of like the cosmic fucking Force when you decide to like reappear. That's why
Separate
not a
or
lot of people
whatever.
could do it.
Which honestly makes it more beautiful in the end when
Yeah.
they all appear to Luke and stuff, because like they went through excruciating pain.
The Force is pain.
Go on.
Dude, I was listening to this earlier, and like 4 of us literally have messed up our words, like, but like
The Force is pain.
yeah, which makes it more beautiful in the. Fuck off.
That's a
Excruciating.
Palpatine really
That's
dicks
a
him
clip
down.
right there. That's a good clip right there. That's fucking hilarious. But I think it makes it more beautiful because they have to go through this Can you turn that the fuck off? Thank you. Anyways, excruciating pain in order like for them just to see Luke and say their goodbyes, you know what I mean? Well, even though they still come back and talk to him every now and again. But like I think that's what made it more beautiful is because, you know, this is painful for them to be there to watch this. So it's it kind of makes it a little bit better, you know? My opinion.
No,
Could you say it makes it harder?
Like the
off.
excruciating peen, bro.
I like that out of like all the fucking Jedi that come back, it is basically fucking just Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon and Anakin realistically. But how like, the Sith can't fucking come back, but they just like imbue their fucking spirit.
And that's what
they're like, I'm here forever now.
Yeah, literally just sitting in this stone and nobody has seen me in 1,000 years.
There's a comic with Darth Vader comic with Darth Momin who like fucks Vader up really bad, and it's really
Darth Mumu?
Momin. He's the reason
Mormon.
Vader has his
He's like a
fucking
Mormon, but
fortress.
he's not.
Go read it,
Momin.
Slug.
Momin.
All right, guys,
Yeah.
I gotta go to bed though. It's late. Unfortunately.
All right, this was fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you
this
for
was
Hit
watching
that
this
subscribe
episode of
button.
WickWars, where we talk about Slug's,
Prenatal frontal cortex not being fully developed. All right, guys.
Hey,
Thank you for
fuck
listening,
you.
watching, and subscribing. We love you all. Please share. It helps us out a ton, and we're very desperate for a clout right now,
I have
especially
no
Star Wars
clout.
clout.
What the fuck are you talking about?
We're very desperate for
Clout,
clout.
clout, clout,
Channel's in the
clout.
description. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.